The Sinnoh region, a land veiled in ancient myths and cradled by towering mountains, holds a unique place in the vast tapestry of the Pokémon world. It is a realm where the very fabric of time and space is said to have been woven, where legendary Pokémon walked alongside humanity long before the modern era. And before we dive into the deep lore and fascinating facts of this incredible region, please take a moment to subscribe and join the Cozy Club for more videos like this, and let me know in the comments where you are watching from. Sinnoh, introduced in the 4th generation of Pokemon games, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, was a bold step forward for the franchise, pushing the boundaries of what a Pokemon region could be. Its diverse geography, from the frigid peaks of Mount Coronet to the tranquil waters of Lake Verity, reflected a world brimming with hidden secrets and ecological wonders. But beyond the surface, Sinnoh's design was meticulously crafted, drawing inspiration from the real-world Hokkaido, Japan's northernmost prefecture, known for its rugged landscapes, rich indigenous culture, and a distinct sense of isolation that fosters unique biodiversity. This real-world influence permeated every aspect of Sinnoh, from the architectural styles of its towns to the folklore surrounding its legendary creatures. One of the most striking aspects of Sinnoh is its profound connection to creation myths. Unlike previous regions that hinted at ancient origins, Sinnoh placed them front and center. The lore of Arceus, the alpha Pokemon, said to have created the entire Pokemon universe, began to take shape here, laying the groundwork for a cosmic narrative that would expand in subsequent generations. The 3 legendary Pokemon of the lakes, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, embody knowledge, emotion, and willpower respectively, forming a trio that represents the fundamental aspects of the human spirit. These abstract concepts were woven into the region's geography, with each lake serving as a sacred site, a place where these powerful beings resided and observed the world. Mount Coronet, the colossal mountain range that bisects the region, is not merely a geographical feature but a central pillar of Sinnoh's creation story. Its towering peaks are believed to be the point from which the world began, a sacred nexus where reality itself was formed. The spear pillar, located at its summit, is the ancient altar where Dialga and Palkia, the deities of time and space, were said to have been summoned, their cosmic powers threatening to tear the universe apart. This grand scale of mythology elevated Sinnoh beyond a simple adventure, transforming it into an epic journey through a world steeped in divine power and existential threats. The Pokemon themselves in Sinnoh also reflected this depth of design. Many creatures were introduced with complex evolutionary methods, requiring specific items, locations, or even times of day to evolve, adding a layer of realism and natural progression to their life cycles. Take, for instance, the Eevee evolutions. Leafeon requiring a moss rock, and Glacian an ice rock, tying their transformations directly to the unique biomes of Sinnoh. This attention to detail fostered a sense of discovery, encouraging players to explore every nook and cranny of the region to uncover these hidden evolutionary secrets. The starters of Sinnoh, Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup, each represented a different aspect of the region's diverse ecosystem. Turtwig, a grass type, embodied the lush forests and natural beauty. Chimchar, a fire type, hinted at the volcanic activity and the industrial innovations taking place in the region. Piplup, a water type, represented the vast oceanic expanses and the numerous lakes that define Sinnoh's geography. Their final evolutions, Torterra, Infernape, and Empoleon, further developed these themes, showcasing a blend of natural power and strategic depth that became a hallmark of the generation. Beyond the legendaries and starters, Sinnoh introduced a host of memorable Pokémon that quickly became fan favorites. Lucario, with its unique fighting/steel typing and powerful aura abilities, captivated players with its noble design and compelling lore. Garchomp, a pseudo-legendary dragon/ground type, dominated competitive battles and became synonymous with raw power and speed. Weevil, a dark/ice type, brought a new level of strategic depth with its incredibly high speed and offensive capabilities. These Pokémon were not just creatures to collect. They were characters with distinct personalities and roles within the larger Sinnoh narrative. The region's environmental themes were also more pronounced than in previous generations. The importance of preserving natural habitats and respecting the balance of nature was a recurring motif, particularly through the narrative involving Team Galactic. Their goal to reshape the universe, to destroy the current world and create a new one, served as a stark warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition and disrespect for the natural order. This thematic depth resonated with players, adding a layer of moral complexity to the traditional Pokémon adventure. Sinnoh was also a pioneer in online connectivity. The introduction of the Global Trade System, or GTS, revolutionized how players interacted, allowing them to trade Pokémon with trainers from all over the world. This opened up unprecedented possibilities for completing the Pokédex and fostering a global community of Pokémon enthusiasts. The battle frontier, while not new to Sinnoh, was expanded and refined in Platinum, offering a challenging post-game experience that tested players' skills in various battle formats. This commitment to both single-player narrative and robust multiplayer features cemented Sinnoh's place as a generation that truly understood the evolving needs of its player base. The music of Sinnoh, composed by Hitomi Sato and Junichi Masuda, also played a crucial role in shaping the region's identity. The soundtrack was rich, atmospheric, and often melancholic, perfectly capturing the sense of ancient mystery and grand adventure that permeated the region. Tracks like the Sinnoh Route 209 theme or the Spear Pillar theme became iconic, instantly recognizable, and deeply intertwined with players' emotional experiences of the games. The sound design contributed significantly to the world-building, immersing players in Sinnoh's unique atmosphere. The Underground, a vast network of tunnels beneath Sinnoh, offered a completely new gameplay experience. Players could dig for fossils, valuable items, and even set up secret bases, fostering a sense of exploration and personalization that went beyond the surface world. This subterranean realm added another dimension to Sinnoh, encouraging players to delve deeper into its mysteries and uncover its hidden treasures. The concept was innovative, providing a refreshing break from the traditional overworld exploration and adding replayability to the games. Sinnoh's influence extended beyond its own generation, laying groundwork for future games and the broader Pokémon lore. The introduction of the Distortion World in Platinum, a chaotic dimension ruled by Giratina, provided a fascinating glimpse into alternate realities and further expanded the cosmic scope of the Pokémon universe. This concept of parallel dimensions and interconnected worlds would be explored in greater detail in later generations, but its roots are firmly planted in Sinnoh. The characters of Sinnoh were also exceptionally memorable. Cynthia, the region's champion, stood out as a formidable and intelligent trainer, her Garchomp becoming a legendary figure in its own right. Her philosophical musings on the nature of Pokémon and the universe added intellectual depth to her character, making her more than just a challenging final boss. Professor Rowan, the region's Pokémon professor, was depicted as a stern but wise mentor, his focus on Pokémon evolution and the origins of life reflecting Sinnoh's thematic emphasis on creation and natural processes. These characters, with their well-defined personalities and compelling motivations, enriched the narrative and made the player's journey through Sinnoh even more engaging. The Pokétch, a multifunctional wrist device, was another innovative feature introduced in Sinnoh. It offered a variety of applications, from a pedometer and clock to a Pokémon checker and dowsing machine, streamlining various aspects of gameplay and adding a touch of modern technology to the Pokémon world. This blend of ancient myth and technological advancement was a recurring theme in Sinnoh, reflecting a region that embraced both its storied past and its promising future. The Pokétch, while initially met with mixed reactions, ultimately proved to be a useful and versatile tool that enhanced the overall player experience. The concept of Pokémon contests also saw a significant overhaul in Sinnoh, becoming more elaborate and engaging. Players could dress up their Pokémon, participate in rhythm-based dance segments, and showcase their moves in dazzling visual displays. This alternative to traditional battling offered a different avenue for players to bond with their Pokémon and express their creativity, adding another layer of depth to the games. The Super Contests were a vibrant and colorful spectacle, providing a welcome change of pace from the intensity of gym battles and competitive encounters. Sinnoh also introduced new forms for existing Pokémon, such as the regional forms of Rotom, which allowed the Ghost/Electric Pokémon to possess various appliances, changing its typing and abilities. This concept of alternate forms, while not fully realized until later generations, showed Game Freak's willingness to experiment with existing designs and expand the possibilities of Pokémon diversity. Rotom's various forms, from a lawnmower to a washing machine, added a playful and unexpected element to its character, making it a unique and memorable addition to the Sinnoh Pokédex. The region's cities and towns were also meticulously designed, each with its own distinct character and charm. Jubilife City, the bustling metropolis, served as the initial hub for players, offering access to various shops and services. Eterna City, with its ancient statue and historical museum, hinted at Sinnoh's rich past. Hearthome City, with its grand festival hall, was the heart of Pokémon contests. And Canalave City, with its port and library, evoked a sense of maritime adventure and intellectual pursuit. Each location felt unique and contributed to the overall tapestry of Sinnoh, providing memorable landmarks and distinct atmospheres. The gym leaders of Sinnoh were a diverse and challenging group, each specializing in a different Pokémon type and offering a unique battle strategy. From Rourke, the rock-type leader of Oreburgh City, to Candace, the ice-type leader of Snowpoint City, each gym presented a distinct puzzle for players to solve. Their personalities and backstories added depth to the world, making them more than just obstacles to overcome. Volkner, the electric-type leader of Sunnyshore City, was particularly notable for his battle weariness and his search for a worthy challenger, adding a touch of pathos to his character. The Elite Four and champion Cynthia provided a formidable final challenge, their teams showcasing a mastery of strategy and type coverage. Cynthia's team, in particular, was renowned for its power and versatility, her Garchomp becoming a symbol of her strength. Defeating her was a true test of a player's skill and dedication, marking a satisfying culmination to the Sinnoh journey. Her presence elevated the role of champion, making the final battle a truly epic encounter. The post-game content in Sinnoh was also exceptionally rich, offering players a wealth of activities to pursue after defeating the Elite Four. The Battle Zone, a new island region accessible only after becoming champion, featured challenging trainers, new areas to explore, and the aforementioned Battle Frontier. This extensive post-game ensured that players had plenty to do even after the main story concluded, adding significant replayability to the games. The Stark Mountain storyline, involving the legendary Heatran, provided an additional narrative arc, further expanding the lore of the region. The physical release of Diamond and Pearl also coincided with the launch of the Nintendo DS, a dual-screen handheld console that offered new possibilities for gameplay. The bottom screen of the Dial S was utilized for the Pokétch, battle information, and touchscreen interactions, enhancing the overall user interface and providing a more immersive experience. This integration of hardware and software was a testament to Game Freak's innovative approach to game design, leveraging the unique features of the DS to create a richer and more engaging Pokémon adventure. The art style of Sinnoh, while maintaining the traditional pixel art aesthetic, featured more detailed environments and improved sprite animations. The world felt more vibrant and alive, with subtle touches like swaying grass, rippling water, and dynamic weather effects adding to the immersion. The Pokémon sprites themselves were more expressive, conveying a greater range of emotions and movements stored during battles and interactions. This visual fidelity, while still rooted in pixel art, represented a significant leap forward for the series, creating a more visually appealing and dynamic world for players to explore. The concept of time and space, central to Sinnoh's mythology, was also subtly woven into the gameplay mechanics. The day-night cycle, while present in previous generations, felt more pronounced in Sinnoh, with certain Pokémon appearing only at specific times and events unfolding under the cover of darkness or the light of day. This added a layer of realism and encouraged players to explore the region at different hours, uncovering new secrets and encounters. The celestial events, such as meteor showers, also played a role in certain legendary Pokémon encounters, further emphasizing the cosmic themes of the region. The impact of Sinnoh on the Pokémon anime and manga was also significant. The anime series, Pokémon Diamond and Pearl, followed Ash Ketchum's journey through the region, introducing new companions, rivals, and thrilling battles. The anime further explored the lore of the Sinnoh legendaries, providing visual interpretations of their cosmic powers and their roles in shaping the world. The manga, Pokémon Adventures Diamond and Pearl, offered a darker and more complex narrative, delving into the motivations of Team Galactic and the existential threats posed by Dialga and Palkia. These adaptations broadened Sinnoh's appeal, reaching audiences beyond the video game players and cementing its place in the broader Pokémon canon. The cultural references embedded within Sinnoh were also particularly rich. The region's indigenous Ainu influences, for example, could be seen in certain architectural styles and the spiritual reverence for nature evident throughout the region. The Hokkaido influence, with its colder climate and unique wildlife, shaped the design of many Pokémon and environments. This careful integration of real-world culture and geography added a layer of authenticity to Sinnoh, making it feel like a living, breathing world with its own distinct history and traditions. The development of Sinnoh also saw a continued emphasis on balancing accessibility for new players with depth for seasoned veterans. The tutorial sections were designed to ease newcomers into the mechanics of the game, while the post-game content and competitive battling offered challenging experiences for those seeking more advanced gameplay. This careful balancing act ensured that Sinnoh appealed to a broad demographic, from young children picking up their first Pokémon game to experienced trainers looking for their next competitive challenge. The enduring popularity of Sinnoh is a testament to the success of this design philosophy. The legacy of Sinnoh continues to this day, with its remakes, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, released in 2021, and the prequel, Pokémon Legends, Arceus, released in 2022. These games revisited the beloved region, offering new perspectives and updated graphics while staying true to the spirit of the originals. Pokémon Legends. Arceus, in particular, delved deeper into Sinnoh's ancient past, exploring the Hisui region, a feudal era version of Sinnoh and providing further insights into the origins of its legendary Pokémon and creation myths. This continued exploration of Sinnoh's lore speaks to the lasting impact and narrative richness of the region, demonstrating its enduring appeal to both old and new fans alike. The beta files and cut content from Sinnoh's development also offer fascinating glimpses into the creative process. While not as extensively leaked as some other generations, early concepts and unused assets reveal ideas that didn't make it into the final game, showcasing the iterative nature of game design. These discarded elements, though never fully realized, provide valuable insight into the design philosophy of Game Freak during this period, highlighting the decisions and compromises made to create the polished final product. For example, early sprite sheets might show different color palettes or slight variations in Pokémon designs, indicating a process of refinement and adjustment. Unused item descriptions or character dialogue could hint at scrapped storylines or gameplay mechanics. These fragments of development history, when pieced together, paint a more complete picture of Sinnoh's evolution, reminding us that even the most beloved games are the result of countless trials and errors. The sheer scale of Sinnoh was also a memorable aspect. It felt like a much larger and more expansive region compared to its predecessors, with Mount Coronet serving as a monumental barrier that necessitated a journey around its base before players could truly cross it. This geographical design reinforced the sense of adventure and discovery, making the world feel vast and full of unexplored territories. The interconnectedness of its routes, caves, and towns created a cohesive world that felt lived in and organic, encouraging players to get lost in its beauty and mystery. The introduction of the physical/special split for attacks in Sinnoh was a monumental change for competitive battling. Prior to this, a move's classification as physical or special was determined by its type, not by the move itself. For example, all fire-type moves were special, regardless of whether they involved a physical attack like Fire Punch. Sinnoh changed this, allowing for a much greater variety of competitive strategies and making many previously overlooked Pokémon viable in battle. This fundamental shift in mechanics demonstrated Game Freak's willingness to evolve the core gameplay, ensuring that the series remained fresh and strategically deep for its dedicated player base. This single change had profound implications for how players built their teams and approached battles, adding a layer of complexity that was welcomed by competitive enthusiasts. The inclusion of the distortion world in Pokémon Platinum was a masterstroke of environmental design and storytelling. This inverted, gravity-defying dimension, where the laws of physics seemed to bend and break, was a visual spectacle and a thematic embodiment of Giratina's chaotic nature. Exploring the distortion world was a unique and unsettling experience, perfectly complementing the cosmic themes of Dialga and Palkia, while introducing a darker, more abstract side to Sinnoh's mythology. Its puzzle-like navigation and surreal aesthetic cemented its place as one of the most memorable locations in any Pokémon game. The character development in Sinnoh was also notable, particularly for the player's rival, Barry. His energetic, impatient, and often clumsy personality provided a charming contrast to the player's journey, and his growth as a trainer felt genuine and earned. His catchphrase, "I'm finding you 10 million Pokémon dollars," became an iconic part of his character, adding a touch of humor to his competitive spirit. This well-rounded rival character contributed significantly to the emotional investment players had in their journey through Sinnoh. The introduction of new evolution methods beyond the Eve examples also expanded the possibilities of Pokémon design. For instance, the evolution of Magneton into Magnezone when leveled up in a special magnetic field, or Nosepass into Probopass in the same conditions, tied evolution directly to specific environmental phenomena, within Sinnoh. This further reinforced the idea that Pokémon were intrinsically linked to their environment, their development shaped by the unique energies and conditions of the region. These creative evolution methods encouraged exploration and added a layer of scientific curiosity to the world of Pokémon. The concept of HMs, or hidden machines, was still prevalent in Sinnoh, requiring players to teach specific moves like surf, fly, and rock climb to their Pokémon to traverse obstacles in the overworld. While sometimes criticized for limiting team composition, these HMs played a crucial role in Sinnoh's exploration, making certain areas accessible only after acquiring the necessary abilities. Rock Climb, a new HM introduced in Sinnoh, allowed players to scale steep cliffs, further emphasizing the region's mountainous terrain and opening up new paths for discovery. The Battle Tower, a feature present in previous generations, was expanded into the Battle Frontier in Pokémon Platinum, offering a wider array of challenging battle facilities and unique rule sets. This post-game content provided a significant test for even the most seasoned trainers, offering endless replayability and a platform for competitive experimentation. The Frontier Brains, each with their own distinct personalities and battle styles, served as formidable opponents, their defeat earning players prestigious symbols and bragging rights. The Battle Frontier was a testament to Sinnoh's commitment to providing deep and engaging content beyond the main story. The visual design of Sinnoh's towns and cities also made significant strides. Sunny Shore City, with its solar panel pathways and lighthouse, was a vibrant and futuristic hub, contrasting beautifully with the more traditional aesthetics of other towns. Snow Point City, nestled in the snowy peaks, evoked a sense of remote tranquility. These diverse urban landscapes contributed to the overall character of Sinnoh, making each location feel unique and memorable, and reinforcing the idea of a region that was both ancient and modern, natural and technological. The Grand Underground, an expansion of the original Underground in Platinum, offered even more features, including the ability to build and customize secret bases, set traps for other players in multiplayer, and engage in a unique flag-collecting minigame. This added social dimension to the Underground further enhanced its appeal, transforming it from a simple digging mechanic into a dynamic multiplayer hub. The Grand Underground was a prime example of Game Freak's willingness to iterate and improve upon existing features, delivering a richer and more engaging experience for players. Sinnoh also introduced a number of quality-of-life improvements that streamlined gameplay and enhanced the overall user experience. The ability to access the P Serum anywhere in the Pokémon Center, the improved bag interface, and the option to run indoors were small but significant changes that made the games more convenient and enjoyable to play. These thoughtful design decisions demonstrated an awareness of player feedback and a commitment to refining the core gameplay loop. The narrative arc of Team Galactic, the villainous organization of Sinnoh, was arguably one of the most ambitious and philosophically driven in the series. Their leader, Cyrus, was not motivated by mere greed or power, but by a nihilistic desire to destroy the current universe and create a new one, free from emotion and spirit. His cold, calculating demeanor and his grand, almost cosmic ambitions made him a compelling and genuinely unsettling antagonist. The existential stakes of Team Galactic's plot elevated Sinnoh's story beyond a simple good versus evil conflict, adding a layer of philosophical depth that resonated with older players. The lore surrounding the Canalavo Library and its ancient texts provided a rich backdrop for Sinnoh's creation myths, offering textual evidence and historical context for the legends of Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia. These in-game books and scrolls allowed players to delve deeper into the region's history, piecing together fragments of ancient knowledge and unraveling the mysteries of the universe. The library served as a hub for intellectual exploration, encouraging players to engage with the narrative on a deeper, more academic level. The introduction of the Wi-Fi Plaza in Pokémon Platinum was another innovative step in online connectivity, offering a virtual social space where players could interact with each other, participate in minigames, and trade Pokémon. This digital meeting place fostered a sense of community and provided a new way for players to connect beyond traditional battles, as in trades. The Wi-Fi Plaza was a testament to Game Freak's foresight in anticipating the growing importance of online multiplayer in gaming and integrating it seamlessly into the Pokémon experience. The daycare system in Sinnoh also saw improvements, allowing players to breed Pokémon more efficiently and providing an easy way to hatch eggs while traversing the region. This streamlined breeding process was a welcome addition for competitive players and those looking to complete their Pokédex, making the often tedious task of egg hatching more manageable. The presence of the daycare in Solasan Town, a peaceful and idyllic location, reinforced the idea of nurturing and growth within the Pokémon world. Sinnoh also featured a number of unique environmental interactions that added to the immersion. Walking through tall grass could reveal hidden items, splashing in puddles could attract certain Pokémon, and navigating through dense fog could obscure vision during battles. These subtle environmental details made the world feel more dynamic and reactive, encouraging players to pay attention to their surroundings and adapt their strategies accordingly. The weather effects, such as snowstorms and sandstorms, also played a role in battles, affecting Pokémon abilities and move effectiveness. The soundtracks of Sinnoh, as mentioned earlier, were particularly memorable, but it's worth highlighting the use of leitmotifs and recurring melodic themes that tied different locations and characters together. The main theme of Sinnoh, with its grand and adventurous melody, was interwoven into various tracks, creating a cohesive auditory experience. The battle themes, with their distinct rhythms and instrumentation, added intensity and excitement to encounters, making each battle feel like a unique and thrilling event. The music was not just background noise, it was an integral part of Sinnoh's identity, evoking a wide range of emotions and enhancing the overall narrative. The concept of the Pokémon Watch, or Poketch, while a practical tool, also served a thematic purpose, representing the integration of technology into daily life in Sinnoh. Its various apps, from a step counter to a friendship checker, reflected a world where technology was used to enhance the human-Pokémon bond and streamline the trainer's journey. This blend of tradition and innovation was a recurring motif in Sinnoh, showcasing a region that embraced both its ancient roots and its modern advancements. The design of the Sinnoh Pokédex was also more visually appealing and informative than previous iterations, featuring detailed sprites, comprehensive data entries, and a user-friendly interface. This enhanced Pokédex made the act of collecting and cataloging Pokémon more engaging and satisfying, encouraging players to strive for completion. The ability to sort Pokémon by various criteria and view their habitats further added to its utility, making it a valuable tool for both casual players and dedicated collectors. Sinnoh's influence on the broader Pokémon franchise is undeniable. Its deep lore, innovative gameplay mechanics, memorable characters, and rich environmental design set a new standard for future generations. The region's emphasis on creation myths and cosmic themes expanded the scope of the Pokémon universe, paving the way for more complex narratives and existential explorations. The physical/special split revolutionized competitive battling, and the enhanced online features fostered a global community of trainers. Sinnoh was not just another Pokemon region. It was a pivotal moment in the series' evolution, a generation that pushed boundaries and redefined what a Pokemon adventure could be. Its legacy continues to resonate, inspiring new games, adaptations, and a lasting appreciation from fans around the world. The echoes of Sinnoh's grand design can still be felt in every subsequent Pokemon game, a testament to its enduring impact and its status as a truly legendary region. The impact of Sinnoh's design philosophy extended beyond just the core games. Its influence can be seen in the various spin-off titles and adaptations that followed. Pokemon Ranger, Shadows of Almia, and Guardian Signs, for instance, expanded upon the concept of Pokemon assisting humans in ways beyond traditional battling, echoing the symbiotic relationship often highlighted in Sinnoh's lore. The Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, particularly Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky, delved deeply into the themes of creation, time, and space, mirroring the grand narratives established in Diamond and Pearl. These spin-offs weren't just cash grabs. They were extensions of the rich universe that Sinnoh had so meticulously crafted, offering different perspectives and gameplay experiences while maintaining a consistent thematic core. Even the anime adaptation, Pokemon the Series, Diamond and Pearl, brought a renewed sense of energy and depth to Ash's journey. The Sinnoh region provided a backdrop for some of Ash's most significant growth and character development, culminating in his battle against Paul, a rival whose contrasting philosophy challenged Ash in unprecedented ways. The anime explored the intricacies of Pokemon contests with Dawn, adding another layer to the region's cultural fabric. Legendary Pokemon like Dialga and Palkia played crucial roles in several movie adaptations, further solidifying their iconic status and showcasing the epic scale of Sinnoh's mythology. The anime and movies weren't just promotional material, they were integral parts of the Sinnoh experience, bringing its stories and characters to life for a wider audience. The enduring popularity of Sinnoh is also evident in the sustained demand for remakes and revisited content. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, released in 2021, served as a nostalgic return for many fans, allowing a new generation to experience the region's magic while offering a fresh coat of paint for veterans. While the art style and some design choices in the remakes were met with mixed reactions, the core gameplay and story remained largely intact, proving the timeless appeal of Sinnoh's original vision. Furthermore, Pokemon Legends, Arceus, a groundbreaking title that reimagined the Pokemon experience with open-world exploration and action RPG elements, transported players back to an ancient Hisui region, the historical precursor to Sinnoh. This game delved even deeper into the creation myths, exploring the origins of Sinnoh's legendary Pokemon and offering a rich, immersive narrative that expanded the lore in unprecedented ways. The very existence of legends. Arceus speaks volumes about the depth and untapped potential that Game Freak saw in Sinnoh's foundational mythology, proving that even after all these years, there were still stories to tell and secrets to uncover within this beloved region. This continued exploration and reinterpretation of Sinnoh underscore its remarkable resilience and adaptability. It's not just a static set of games, it's a living, breathing universe that continues to inspire and evolve. The themes of creation, time, space, and the delicate balance of nature are universal and timeless, allowing Sinnoh's stories to resonate across generations. The intricate relationships between its legendary Pokemon, each embodying fundamental forces of the universe, provide a compelling narrative framework that transcends typical monster collecting adventures. It's a region that encourages philosophical contemplation alongside strategic battling, a testament to its sophisticated design. Beyond the grand narratives and legendary Pokémon, Sinnoh also excelled in the smaller, more intimate details that made the region feel alive and lived in. The diverse topography, from the snow-capped peaks of Mount Coronet to the tranquil waters of Lake Verity, provided a sense of genuine exploration. Each town and city had its own distinct character, from the bustling industrial hub of Vileston City to the serene traditional village of Celestic Town, which served as a repository of ancient Sinnohan history. These varied environments weren't just aesthetic backdrops, they often played a role in the narrative or offered unique gameplay opportunities. For example, the perpetually dark Wayward Cave required HM Flash, adding a layer of environmental puzzle solving, while the marshlands of Pastoria City presented unique challenges for movement and Pokémon encounters. The background music of Sinnoh also deserves special mention. Junichi Masuda and his team crafted a soundtrack that perfectly captured the mood and atmosphere of each location, enhancing the player's immersion. The soaring melodies of the cycling road, the mysterious tunes of the Eterna Forest, or the epic orchestral scores during legendary encounters are instantly recognizable and evoke strong feelings of nostalgia. The music wasn't just background noise, it was an integral part of the storytelling, guiding the player's emotions and reinforcing the regional identity. The iconic Spear Pillar theme, for instance, perfectly conveys the gravitas and cosmic significance of the confrontation with Dialga or Palkia, elevating the experience beyond a simple boss battle. Sinnoh's commitment to world building extended to its cast of characters as well. Professor Rowan, a stern yet caring mentor, introduced the player to the world of Pokémon research with a focus on evolution, a central theme of the region. His groundbreaking work on Pokémon evolution provided a scientific backbone to the region's lore. The player's rival, Barry, was energetic and often impatient, providing a stark contrast to the player's journey and pushing them to grow. His infectious enthusiasm and memorable catchphrases made him a fan favorite. The gym leaders, each with their distinct personalities and battle styles, offered challenging encounters and contributed to the region's vibrant culture. From Rourke, the enthusiastic miner, to Candace, the cheerful ice-type specialist, each leader left a lasting impression. The Elite Four and champion Cynthia, however, stood out as particularly memorable. Cynthia, in particular, transcended the role of a typical Pokémon champion. Her enigmatic presence, intellectual curiosity, and formidable team made her one of the most iconic and challenging champions in the entire series. She wasn't just a final boss, she was a recurring figure throughout the player's journey, offering advice and insights into Sinnoh's ancient history. Her connection to the lore and her profound understanding of Pokémon made her battles feel like a true test of a trainer's skill and knowledge, rather than just a stat check. Her Garchomp became legendary in its own right, a symbol of her power and strategic prowess. The underground area, a unique feature of Diamond and Pearl, offered an entirely different dimension of gameplay. This expansive subterranean network allowed players to dig for fossils, spheres, and other treasures, fostering a sense of discovery and rewarding exploration. It also introduced a novel multiplayer component, allowing players to build secret bases and interact with friends in a shared underground space. This innovative feature provided a welcome break from the main story, offering a relaxing yet engaging activity that contributed to the overall replayability of the games. The ability to customize one's secret base with decorations and traps added a personal touch, making the underground feel like a truly personalized space within the vast Sinnoh region. Contests, while present in previous generations, received a significant overhaul in Sinnoh, becoming more elaborate and engaging. Super contests, as they were called, incorporated three stages: visual, dance, and acting, requiring players to strategically choose moves and accessories to impress judges. This mini-game offered a refreshing alternative to battling, appealing to players who enjoyed a more aesthetic and performance-based challenge. Dawn's prominent role in the anime further popularized contests, showcasing the dedication and strategy involved in becoming a top coordinator. The integration of the Pokétch with contest mechanics, allowing for real-time tracking of performance, further enhanced the experience. The integration of the Nintendo DS's unique features was also a hallmark of Sinnoh's design. The dual screens were utilized effectively, with the top screen displaying the main gameplay and the bottom screen serving as the Pokétch or menu interface. This allowed for seamless navigation and access to information without interrupting the flow of the game. The touchscreen was used for various mini-games, such as digging in the underground or applying poffins to Pokémon, adding an interactive element that felt natural and intuitive. This thoughtful use of hardware capabilities demonstrated Game Freak's commitment to pushing the boundaries of what a Pokémon game could be on the platform. The introduction of new evolution methods in Sinnoh also added depth and intrigue to the Pokémon world. Beyond the traditional leveling, stone, or trade evolutions, Sinnoh introduced evolutions triggered by specific items held at a certain time of day. For example, Mismagius from Misdreavus with a Duskstone, or by leveling up in a specific location, for example, Leafeon in Eterna Forest. These new methods encouraged players to experiment and explore, rewarding their curiosity with unique new Pokémon. This expanded the strategic considerations for team building and added layers to the collection aspect of the game, making the act of evolving Pokémon more dynamic and less predictable. The impact of Sinnoh's battle mechanics, particularly the physical/special split, cannot be overstated. Before Sinnoh, a move's classification as physical or special was determined solely by its type. For example, all fire-type moves were special, and all fighting-type moves were physical. This meant that Pokémon like Arcanine, despite having a high attack stat, couldn't effectively use its signature fire-type moves unless they were special. The physical/special split changed this by assigning each individual move a category, physical, special, or status, independent of its type. This revolutionary change allowed for far greater strategic depth and flexibility in team building. Suddenly, Pokémon could utilize their highest offensive stats with moves of any type, opening up a vast array of new possibilities for competitive play and in-game battling. It made Pokémon like Gyarados, with its high attack stat, much more viable with a physical water-type move like Waterfall, which was introduced in this generation. This fundamental shift redefined how players approached battling and remains a cornerstone of the Pokémon battle system to this day. Furthermore, the introduction of abilities in Generation 3 was further refined and expanded upon in Sinnoh. Many new and powerful abilities were introduced, significantly impacting battle strategies. Abilities like Levitate, which grants immunity to ground-type attacks, or Intimidate, which lowers the opponent's attack stat upon entry, became crucial considerations for team composition. The interplay of abilities, moves, and stats created a complex and engaging battle environment that rewarded strategic thinking and careful planning. The depth added by these mechanics solidified Pokémon's position as a serious competitive game, attracting a dedicated community of strategists and analysts. The Global Trade System, GTS, introduced in Diamond and Pearl, revolutionized how players interacted and traded Pokémon. For the first time, players could offer a Pokémon for trade and specify what Pokémon they wanted in return, even if the other player was on the other side of the world. This asynchronous trading system made it easier than ever to complete the Pokédex, find rare Pokémon, and connect with a global community of trainers. The GTS was a groundbreaking feature for its time, leveraging the Nintendo DS's Wi-Fi capabilities to foster a truly interconnected Pokémon world. It transformed Pokémon trading from a local, often cumbersome activity into a seamless, global phenomenon, significantly enhancing the longevity and replayability of the games. The introduction of the Battle Frontier in Pokémon Platinum, an enhanced version of Diamond and Pearl, further exemplified Sinnoh's commitment to challenging and rewarding post-game content. The Battle Frontier, a staple of previous generations, returned with new facilities and challenges, pushing players to test their skills against increasingly difficult AI opponents. Each facility had its own unique rules and strategies, requiring players to adapt and build specialized teams. The Battle Factory, for instance, challenged players to battle with rental Pokémon, emphasizing strategic thinking over raw power. The Battle Tower, a returning classic, offered a straightforward test of a trainer's best team. This extensive post-game content ensured that players had plenty to do even after becoming champion, providing countless hours of additional gameplay and replay value. Sinnoh's legacy is further cemented by the sheer volume of iconic Pokémon introduced in this generation. Beyond the legendary trio of Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, and the mythical Arceus, the region gave us beloved Pokémon like Lucario, a fan-favorite fighting/steel type with a strong sense of justice, Garchomp, Cynthia's signature powerhouse, Roserade, an elegant grass/poison type, and Electivire and Magmortar, powerful evolutions of classic Pokémon. Each new Pokémon felt distinct and well-designed, contributing to the rich biodiversity of the region. The introduction of many pre-evolutions and evolutions for existing Pokémon, such as Mamoswine for Piloswine or Togekiss for Togetic, breathed new life into older generations and expanded their evolutionary lines, further enriching the overall Pokémon ecosystem. The narratives surrounding these Pokémon were often interwoven with Sinnoh's lore. Lucario, for example, is deeply connected to the concept of aura, a spiritual energy that plays a role in various aspects of the region's mythology. Spiritomb, a ghost/dark type, is tied to the Hallowed Tower and the concept of sealing evil spirits, adding a layer of mystery and ancient curses to the world. Even seemingly minor Pokémon had their stories, contributing to the overall tapestry of Sinnoh. This meticulous attention to detail in Pokémon design and lore integration made the region feel cohesive and believable, fostering a deeper connection between players and the creatures they encountered. The emphasis on environmental storytelling was also a strong point for Sinnoh. The gradual climb up Mount Coronet, starting from lush forests and transitioning to icy caves and eventually the sacred spear pillar, was a masterclass in environmental progression. Each section of the mountain told a part of the story, hinting at the ancient powers residing within. The stark contrast between the natural beauty of the region and the encroaching industrialization seen in places like the Valley Windworks or the Eterna City Cycling Road provided a subtle commentary on the relationship between humanity and nature, a recurring theme throughout the Pokémon series. These environmental details weren't just window dressing, they actively contributed to the narrative and thematic depth of the region. The presence of Team Galactic, Sinnoh's antagonist organization, was also particularly memorable. Unlike previous villainous teams that often sought power or wealth, Team Galactic's ambition was far grander and more terrifying: to destroy the current universe and create a new one with their leader, Cyrus, as its god. This existential threat elevated the stakes considerably, making the player's journey feel more impactful and urgent. Cyrus's nihilistic philosophy and cold, calculating demeanor made him a truly chilling antagonist, and his pursuit of Dialga and Palkia showcased the immense power he sought to wield. The cosmic scale of their plan perfectly complemented Sinnoh's creation myths, creating a compelling conflict that resonated throughout the entire story. The narrative climax at Spear Pillar, where the player confronts Cyrus as he attempts to control the legendary Pokémon of time and space, remains one of the most iconic moments in Pokémon history. The dramatic tension, the awe-inspiring environmental design, and the sheer power of the legendary Pokémon involved made this encounter unforgettable. The subsequent encounter with Giratina in the Distortion World in Pokémon Platinum further expanded upon this cosmic narrative, introducing an alternate dimension governed by different laws of physics. The Distortion World was a visually stunning and conceptually innovative environment, representing a dark, chaotic counterpart to the ordered world. This level of narrative ambition and thematic depth set a new benchmark for the series, proving that Pokémon stories could be both engaging and thought-provoking. Sinnoh's influence on subsequent generations is undeniable. The physical/special split became a permanent fixture, shaping competitive battling for years to come. The emphasis on deep lore and complex narratives inspired future regions to explore their own unique mythologies and legendary Pokémon. The online features, pioneered by the G2IS, evolved into more sophisticated global trading and battling systems. Even the concept of revisiting older regions in a new light, as seen with Pokémon Legends Arceus, owes a debt to Sinnoh's rich historical context. It was a generation that wasn't afraid to take risks, push boundaries, and redefine what a Pokémon game could be. Its legacy is a testament to its visionary design and its enduring appeal to millions of fans worldwide. The echoes of Sinnoh's grand design can still be felt in every subsequent Pokémon game, a testament to its enduring impact and its status as a truly legendary region. Beyond its narrative and mechanical innovations, Sinnoh also left an indelible mark on the Pokémon world through its vibrant and diverse cast of characters. From the stoic champion Cynthia to the quirky Professor Rowan and the flamboyant galactic Commander Mars, each character contributed to the rich tapestry of the region. These characters weren't just static plot devices. They had their own motivations, personalities, and even growth arcs throughout the games. Cynthia, in particular, stands out as one of the most beloved and challenging champions in the series. Her team, a meticulously crafted assortment of powerful and diverse Pokémon, tested players' strategic prowess and team-building skills. Her philosophical musings and calm demeanor, even in the face of Team Galactic's threats, made her a compelling figure who transcended the typical final boss role. She felt like a true mentor and a powerful ally rather than just an obstacle to overcome. Professor Rowan, the region's resident Pokémon professor, was a stark contrast to his predecessors. Unlike the generally jovial and approachable Professors Oak and Elm, Rowan was initially portrayed as rather stern and serious. His focus on Pokémon evolution and the origins of species gave him a more academic and less paternalistic air. This change in personality made him feel more like a dedicated scientist, deeply engrossed in his research, rather than just a friendly guide. His initial skepticism of the player character, gradually giving way to respect, added a subtle layer of character development. Even the rival Barry, with his boundless energy and tendency to fine the player for minor infractions, became a memorable and endearing presence. His constant enthusiasm and competitive spirit provided a lighthearted counterpoint to the more serious themes explored in the main story. These well-developed characters added significant depth and emotional resonance to the player's journey, making Sinnoh feel like a truly lived-in world. The gym leaders of Sinnoh also showcased a remarkable range of personalities and battle strategies. From Rourke, the rock-type specialist and aspiring miner, to Candace, the spirited ice-type expert, each gym leader presented a unique challenge and offered a glimpse into the diverse culture of Sinnoh. Fantina, the ghost-type gym leader, was particularly memorable for her elegant and theatrical persona, perfectly embodying the enigmatic nature of her chosen Pokémon type. Volkner, the electric-type gym leader, was a refreshing change of pace, battling with a sense of ennui and a desire for a truly challenging opponent. This humanized him and made his eventual re-engagement with battling all the more satisfying. The variety in their types, their battle styles, and their individual stories contributed to the overall sense of adventure and progression within the game. Each gym battle felt like a distinct milestone, pushing the player to adapt their strategies and build a well-rounded team. The Elite Four and Champion battles further amplified this challenge, requiring deep understanding of type matchups and strategic planning to overcome. The difficulty curve felt well-balanced, gradually increasing the challenge without becoming frustrating, a hallmark of excellent game design. Sinnoh's infrastructure and geographical design were also meticulously crafted to enhance the player's experience. The region's diverse landscapes, from the snowy peaks of Mount Coronet to the volcanic terrain of Stark Mountain, offered a visually stunning and varied environment to explore. Each area felt distinct and purposeful, contributing to the overall sense of immersion. The interconnectedness of the routes, often with multiple paths and hidden areas, encouraged exploration and rewarded players who ventured off the beaten path. The introduction of the Grand Underground, a vast network of tunnels beneath the surface, provided an entirely new dimension of exploration and gameplay. This subterranean world, filled with hidden treasures, secret bases, and unique Pokémon, offered a refreshing change of pace from the surface world. It was an innovative feature that added significant replayability and depth to the game, allowing players to customize their secret bases and interact with friends. The cycling road, the various lakes, and the bustling cities each contributed to a vibrant and believable world. The attention to detail in the environmental design, from the swaying grass to the rippling water, further enhanced the player's connection to the region. The music of Sinnoh is another aspect that deserves significant recognition. Junichi Masuda and his team crafted a soundtrack that perfectly captured the essence of the region, evoking feelings of adventure, mystery, and grandeur. From the sweeping orchestral themes of the legendary Pokémon encounters to the whimsical tunes of the various towns and routes, the music was an integral part of the Sinnoh experience. The battle themes, in particular, were incredibly impactful, lending a sense of urgency and excitement to every encounter. The Champion Cynthia's battle theme remains one of the most iconic and beloved pieces of music in the entire Pokémon franchise, perfectly complementing her formidable presence. The music didn't just serve as background noise, it actively enhanced the emotional impact of key moments, making them even more memorable. The soundtrack's ability to seamlessly transition between different moods and atmospheres, from serene to intense, showcased its masterful composition. Even years later, listening to the Sinnoh soundtrack instantly transports players back to the region, a testament to its enduring quality and emotional resonance. The introduction of new Pokémon in Sinnoh was also a significant factor in its success. The 107 new Pokémon introduced in Generation 4 brought fresh designs, unique abilities, and interesting evolutionary lines to the franchise. Many of these Pokémon quickly became fan favorites, such as the powerful Garchomp, the elegant Roserade, and the adorable Lucario. The design philosophy of Sinnoh Pokémon often leaned towards more complex and detailed aesthetics, reflecting the region's more mature themes. The inclusion of new evolutions for existing Pokemon like Electivire and Magmortar breathed new life into older species, making them competitively viable and aesthetically appealing. This not only expanded the diversity of available Pokemon, but also provided a sense of continuity and evolution within the Pokemon world. The legendary Pokemon of Sinnoh, Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina were particularly striking, with designs that perfectly embodied their cosmic powers. Their imposing presence and unique typings made them formidable opponents and highly sought-after additions to any team. The introduction of Pokemon like Arceus, the supposed creator of the Pokemon world, further solidified Sinnoh's status as a region steeped in ancient lore and cosmic significance. The overall quality and originality of the Sinnoh Pokémon designs contributed significantly to the generation's lasting appeal and its impact on the franchise. The balance between new, exciting creatures and familiar, re-energized ones was struck beautifully, creating a Pokédex that felt both fresh and nostalgic. Sinnoh's legacy extends beyond the immediate impact of its original games. The region has been revisited and reimagined in subsequent titles, further cementing its importance in the Pokemon canon. Pokemon Platinum, released a year after Diamond and Pearl, served as an enhanced version, similar to Yellow or Crystal before it. Platinum significantly expanded upon the original games, introducing the Distortion World, a more comprehensive post-game, and a refined narrative that delved deeper into Giratina's role. The game also featured an expanded Pokédex, incorporating more Pokémon from previous generations, which enhanced team-building options and competitive variety. These improvements made Platinum widely regarded as the definitive version of Generation 4, showcasing the developer's commitment to refining and perfecting the Sinnoh experience. The Distortion World, in particular, was a groundbreaking addition, offering a unique and visually striking environment that challenged players' spatial reasoning with its non-Euclidean geometry. It was a bold and imaginative concept that pushed the boundaries of what a Pokemon game could be. More recently, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, released in 2021, brought the Sinnoh region to the Nintendo Switch. These remakes aimed to faithfully recreate the original games while incorporating modern quality-of-life improvements and updated graphics. While they largely adhered to the original narrative and structure, they allowed a new generation of players to experience the magic of Sinnoh with a fresh coat of paint. The Grand Underground was expanded and enhanced, offering more social features and new ways to encounter Pokemon. These remakes demonstrated the enduring popularity of Sinnoh and the desire of fans to revisit this beloved region. The decision to maintain the chibi art style of the original games, while controversial for some, was a deliberate choice to evoke nostalgia and preserve the charm of the DS era. These remakes served as a testament to the timeless appeal of Sinnoh's design, characters, and story, allowing both veterans and newcomers to experience its wonders. And then, of course, there's Pokemon Legends. Arceus, a game that completely reimagined the Sinnoh region, taking players back in time to the ancient Hisui region, the land that would eventually become Sinnoh. This groundbreaking title, released in 2022, offered a radically different gameplay experience, shifting from the traditional turn-based RPG format to a more action-oriented open-world adventure. Legends. Arceus delved deep into the lore of Sinnoh's creation myths, exploring the origins of its legendary Pokemon and the relationship between humans and Pokemon in a bygone era. The game introduced new forms of familiar Pokemon, known as Hisuian forms, and new evolutions, further expanding the Sinnoh Pokédex. The emphasis on exploration, crafting, and a more direct interaction with wild Pokemon marked a significant departure for the series, yet it was deeply rooted in the mythology established in Diamond and Pearl. Legends. Arceus proved that Sinnoh's lore was rich enough to support entirely new gameplay paradigms and narrative structures. It provided a fresh perspective on a familiar region, allowing players to witness the untamed beauty and harsh realities of a world before modern Pokémon training. The game was a bold and successful experiment that showcased the versatility and depth of the Sinnoh universe, and it undoubtedly influenced future Pokémon titles. The influence of Sinnoh can also be seen in the broader Pokémon franchise, beyond just the games. The anime adaptations of Generation 4, including Pokémon the series, Diamond and Pearl, introduced many viewers to the region and its characters. Ash's journey through Sinnoh, his rivalry with Paul, and his partnership with Dawn resonated with a generation of fans. The anime further explored the personalities of characters like Cynthia and the gym leaders, bringing them to life on screen. The Pokémon trading card game also saw the introduction of numerous Sinnoh-themed sets featuring the new Pokémon and legendary creatures. These cards became highly sought after by collectors and competitive players alike, contributing to the enduring popularity of the region. The merchandise associated with Sinnoh, from toys to apparel, further solidified its place in popular culture. The consistent presence of Sinnoh across various forms of media speaks to its widespread appeal and the strength of its core concepts. The region truly became a cultural touchstone for Pokémon fans, leaving an indelible mark on the brand's global identity. One of the less discussed but equally important aspects of Sinnoh's impact was its role in fostering a sense of community among players. The Global Trade Station, GTS, was a revolutionary feature that allowed players from all over the world to trade Pokémon with each other, breaking down geographical barriers and creating a truly global Pokémon community. This sense of interconnectedness was further enhanced by features like the Union Room, where players could battle and trade locally, and the ability to visit friends' secret bases in the Grand Underground. These online and local multiplayer options encouraged interaction, collaboration, and friendly competition, fostering a vibrant social ecosystem around the games. For many players, Sinnoh was their first real experience with online gaming in the Pokémon world, and it opened up a world of possibilities. The ability to complete the Pokédex by trading with others, or to acquire rare and powerful Pokémon through the GTS, significantly enhanced the replayability and longevity of the games. These features were foundational to the online experiences that would become standard in later Pokémon titles, demonstrating Sinnoh's pioneering spirit in the realm of online connectivity. The shared experience of exploring Sinnoh, battling its challenges, and connecting with other trainers created a powerful bond among players, solidifying its place in their memories as a truly special generation. Beyond the games themselves, Sinnoh's influence permeated popular culture in other significant ways. The anime series, Pokémon the series, Diamond and Pearl, introduced a new generation of viewers to the region and its inhabitants. Ash, Brock, and Dawn's journey through Sinnoh captivated audiences with its compelling storylines, exciting battles, and the introduction of new Pokémon. The anime showcased the region's diverse landscapes, from the snowy peaks of Mount Coronet to the bustling streets of Jubilife City, bringing the world of Sinnoh to life in vivid detail. Dawn, in particular, became a fan-favorite character, with her focus on Pokémon contests, offering a refreshing alternative to traditional gym battles. Her determination and growth throughout the series resonated with many viewers, and her Pokémon, like Piplup and Baniri, became instantly recognizable. The anime also played a crucial role in expanding the lore of Sinnoh, delving deeper into the myths and legends surrounding Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, and providing visual interpretations of events only hinted at in the games. The emotional weight of certain episodes, such as those involving Cresselia and Darkrai, left a lasting impression, demonstrating the series' ability to tackle more complex themes. The anime wasn't just a marketing tool, it was a narrative extension of the games, deepening the connection fans felt to the Sinnoh region and its characters. The iconic theme songs and opening sequences are still remembered fondly by fans, further cementing the anime's cultural impact. The impact of the Sinnoh region extended even to the realm of competitive Pokémon battling. The introduction of the physical/special split was a game changer, fundamentally altering the way trainers approached team building and battle strategies. Before Sinnoh, a move's classification as physical or special was determined by its type. For example, all fire-type moves were special, regardless of whether they involved direct contact or not. This often led to situations where Pokémon with high attack stats were forced to use special moves, or vice versa, hindering their effectiveness. The physical/special split rectified this by assigning each move a specific category based on its animation and effect, independent of its type. This allowed for much greater strategic depth, as trainers could now tailor their movesets to fully capitalize on their Pokémon's individual strengths. For instance, a Pokémon like Gyarados, with its high attack stat, could now effectively use a physical water-type move like Waterfall, where previously it was limited to special water moves like Hydro Pump. This change opened up a vast array of new possibilities for competitive play, leading to more diverse and unpredictable teams. It empowered trainers to be more creative with their strategies, knowing that their Pokémon's stat distributions would be fully utilized. The competitive scene flourished as a result, with players constantly experimenting with new combinations and approaches. The Sinnoh metagame was incredibly rich and dynamic, fostering a vibrant community of competitive players who meticulously analyzed every new development. This fundamental shift in battle mechanics wasn't just a minor tweak, it was a complete overhaul that redefined competitive Pokémon battling for all subsequent generations, showcasing Sinnoh's profound and lasting influence on the core gameplay experience. The Sinnoh region also introduced a wealth of new abilities and moves that significantly impacted competitive play. Abilities like Levitate, which grants immunity to ground-type moves, became incredibly valuable, allowing Pokémon like Bronzong to pivot effectively against common threats. Intimidate, which lowers an opponent's attack stat upon entry, created strategic opportunities for weakening physical attackers and setting up sweeps. New moves like Stealth Rock, an entry hazard that damages opponents upon switching in, became a staple in competitive teams, punishing switches and chipping away at health. Trick Room, a move that reverses turn order for 5 turns, allowed slower Pokémon to outspeed faster ones, turning the tide of battle in unexpected ways. These additions weren't just new options, they were tools that allowed for entirely new strategies and playstyles. The metagame became a complex dance of predicting abilities, managing entry hazards, and exploiting move effects. Trainers had to adapt to a vastly expanded strategic landscape, constantly learning and refining their approaches. The introduction of powerful new Pokémon with unique abilities further diversified the competitive scene. For example, Garchomp's speed and attack, combined with its Sandveil ability and Sandstorm, made it a formidable threat that required specific counters. Rotom's various forms, each with a unique typing and ability, offered unparalleled versatility. These innovations ensured that competitive Pokémon battling remained fresh and engaging, constantly challenging players to evolve their understanding of the game. The legacy of Sinnoh's competitive innovations can still be seen in modern Pokémon games, with many of its introduced mechanics remaining core components of the battle system. Beyond the competitive scene, Sinnoh also introduced a number of quality of life improvements that greatly enhanced the overall player experience. The introduction of the battle recorder, for instance, allowed players to record and share their battles, fostering a sense of community and providing valuable learning opportunities. This feature was instrumental in the growth of competitive Pokémon, as players could analyze their own strategies and learn from others. The ability to customize the Pokétch with various apps, from a pedometer to a Pokémon checker, provided useful tools for exploration and team management. While not groundbreaking on their own, these small additions collectively made the game more convenient and enjoyable. The Grand Underground, while primarily a multiplayer feature, also offered a unique single-player experience, allowing players to dig for fossils, spheres, and other valuable items. This added a layer of exploration and resource gathering that was distinct from the main game, offering a refreshing change of pace. The inclusion of the Wi-Fi Plaza, a virtual meeting place where players could interact with others from around the world, further enriched the online experience. These features demonstrated Game Freak's commitment to improving the player experience, listening to community feedback, and pushing the boundaries of what a Pokémon game could offer. They might not be as flashy as new Pokémon or legendary creatures, but they were crucial in refining the overall gameplay loop and making Sinnoh an even more immersive and engaging world to explore. The Sinnoh region also holds a special place in the hearts of many fans due to its distinct aesthetic and atmosphere. The region's design, inspired by the Hokkaido Prefecture of Japan, offered a refreshing change of scenery from previous regions. The emphasis on natural landscapes with vast forests, towering mountains, and serene lakes created a sense of grandeur and wonder. The snowy routes and towns, particularly in the northern parts of the region, provided a unique visual identity that set Sinnoh apart. The art style of the games, with its vibrant colors and detailed environments, brought the world to life in a way that felt both familiar and new. The character designs, from the stoic champion Cynthia to the eccentric gym leader Fantina, were memorable and contributed to the region's rich tapestry of personalities. The music of Sinnoh is another often praised aspect, with its orchestral arrangements and memorable melodies perfectly capturing the mood and essence of each location. From the sweeping grandeur of the Spear Pillar theme to the charming tunes of the various towns, the soundtrack is widely considered one of the best in the series. The combination of stunning visuals, compelling characters, and an unforgettable soundtrack created an immersive and emotionally resonant experience for players. This strong sense of place and atmosphere contributed significantly to Sinnoh's enduring appeal, making it a region that players genuinely enjoyed inhabiting and exploring. It wasn't just a collection of routes and towns. It felt like a living, breathing world with its own unique identity and charm. The lore and mythology surrounding the Sinnoh region are arguably some of the deepest and most intricate in the entire Pokémon franchise. At its core lies the creation trio: Dialga, the Pokémon of time; Palkia, the Pokémon of space; and Giratina, the Pokémon of antimatter and the distortion world. These legendary Pokémon are not merely powerful creatures, they are integral to the very fabric of the universe within the Pokémon world, embodying fundamental concepts of existence. The legends tell of Arceus, the original one, who created Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, along with the entire Pokémon universe itself. This makes Arceus a godlike figure, a concept that imbues the Sinnoh region with a profound sense of ancient power and cosmic significance. The exploration of these myths through the game's narrative, particularly at locations like the Spear Pillar and the Distortion World, provided a compelling and thought-provoking storyline. Players were not just catching Pokémon, they were unraveling the secrets of creation itself. The story delved into themes of existence, reality, and the delicate balance of the universe, elevating the narrative beyond a typical adventure. The lore was further enriched by the presence of other legendary Pokémon like the Lake Trio, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, who represent knowledge, emotion, and willpower respectively. Their connection to the human spirit and their role in maintaining balance added another layer of depth to Sinnoh's mythology. These intricate narratives and the profound philosophical questions they raised resonated deeply with players, making the Sinnoh region a truly unique and intellectually stimulating experience within the Pokémon world. The depth of the lore encouraged speculation and discussion among fans, further solidifying Sinnoh's place as a cornerstone of the franchise's overarching mythology. The Sinnoh region also played a pivotal role in expanding the concept of alternate dimensions and realities within the Pokémon universe. The introduction of the Distortion World, Giratina's domain, was a groundbreaking moment. This inverted, gravity-defying realm, where the laws of physics seemed to bend and break, offered a visually stunning and conceptually fascinating contrast to the familiar world of Sinnoh. It was a place of chaos and antimatter, a direct counterpoint to Dialga's control over time and Palkia's mastery of space. The exploration of the Distortion World in Pokémon Platinum was a highlight for many players, providing a unique and challenging environment that pushed the boundaries of what a Pokémon game could be. The puzzles and navigation within this dimension required a different way of thinking, making for a truly memorable experience. This concept of an alternate dimension opened up possibilities for future games to explore similar themes, demonstrating Sinnoh's pioneering spirit in expanding the Pokémon multiverse. The idea that there are worlds beyond our own, governed by different rules and inhabited by different Pokémon, added an immense layer of richness to the franchise's lore. It made the Pokémon world feel even larger and more mysterious, hinting at untold secrets and undiscovered realms. The Distortion World wasn't just a cool location. It was a narrative device that broadened the scope of the Pokémon universe, proving that the series was willing to delve into more complex and imaginative concepts. This willingness to experiment with fundamental aspects of reality solidified Sinnoh's reputation as a generation that wasn't afraid to take risks and innovate. Another fascinating aspect of Sinnoh's lore is its strong connection to ancient history and archaeology. Throughout the region, players encounter ruins, tablets, and historical figures that shed light on Sinnoh's past. The Kanalov Library, for instance, houses numerous ancient texts that detail the region's creation myths and the origins of its legendary Pokémon. The Eterna City Gym is built around ancient ruins, hinting at a forgotten past. The Spear Pillar itself is an ancient shrine, a testament to the reverence shown to the creation trio by the people of Sinnoh throughout history. These archaeological elements ground the fantastical elements of the lore in a sense of tangible history, making the legends feel more real and impactful. Players aren't just told about the past, they actively uncover it through exploration and interaction. This emphasis on history adds a layer of depth and realism to the world, making Sinnoh feel like a place with a long and storied past. The presence of characters like Professor Rowan, a renowned Pokémon researcher, further emphasizes the importance of understanding the past to comprehend the present. His research into Pokémon evolution and origins is central to the game's narrative, tying directly into the ancient myths of Sinnoh. This blend of ancient history, archaeological discovery, and cosmic mythology creates a truly unique and captivating narrative experience that sets Sinnoh apart. It encourages players to think about the origins of the Pokémon world and their place within it, fostering a deeper connection to the game's universe. The Sinnoh region also introduced players to a diverse array of new Pokémon, many of which quickly became fan favorites and staples in competitive teams. The starter Pokémon, Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup, each offered distinct playstyles and evolutionary lines, catering to different preferences. Their final evolutions, Torterra, Infernip, and Empoleon, were powerful and visually striking, leaving a lasting impression. Beyond the starters, Sinnoh brought forth iconic Pokémon like Lucario, a fighting/steel type known for its aura manipulation and powerful attacks, which quickly gained immense popularity. Garchomp, a dragon/ground type, became a dominant force in competitive battles due to its incredible speed and offensive presence. Weavile, a fast and powerful ice/dark type, offered a unique niche with its priority moves and high attack. These are just a few examples of the many memorable Pokémon introduced in Sinnoh. The region also expanded upon existing Pokémon lines with new evolutions, such as Electivire for Electabuzz, Magmortar for Magmar, and Togekiss for Togetic, giving older Pokémon new life and strategic viability. This thoughtful expansion of the Pokédex ensured that Sinnoh felt both fresh and connected to previous generations. The designs of the new Pokémon were largely well received, contributing to the region's overall appeal. Each Pokémon felt like it had a distinct purpose and place within the ecosystem of Sinnoh, further enhancing the immersion. The sheer variety and quality of the new Pokémon introduced in Sinnoh played a significant role in its enduring popularity and its impact on the franchise. The introduction of new forms for existing Pokémon also showcased Sinnoh's innovative spirit. Rotom, a ghost/electric type, was a standout example with its ability to possess various household appliances and change its typing and abilities accordingly. This unique concept offered unparalleled versatility and strategic depth, making Rotom an incredibly popular and adaptable Pokémon in competitive play. Each Rotom form, Heat, Wash, Frost, Fan, and Mow, brought a different type combination and set of resistances, allowing trainers to tailor Rotom to specific team needs. This wasn't just a cosmetic change. It fundamentally altered the Pokémon's role in battle. Similarly, Shaymin gained a Sky form, changing its type from grass to grass/flying and significantly boosting its speed, offering a more offensive option. Giratina's origin form, accessible in the Distortion world and when holding the Griseous Orb, altered its stats and ability, emphasizing its power as a legendary Pokémon. These alternate forms had demonstrated a willingness to experiment with Pokémon design and mechanics, offering new ways to engage with established creatures. They added an extra layer of depth and excitement, encouraging players to explore different strategies and appreciate the adaptability of Pokémon. This innovation in Pokémon design further solidified Sinnoh's reputation as a generation that pushed boundaries and introduced fresh ideas, leaving a lasting impact on how Pokémon are conceived and utilized in the games. The Sinnoh region also saw the introduction of the Super Contests, an evolved version of the Pokémon contests from the Hoenn region. These contests provided an alternative path for trainers who were more interested in showcasing their Pokémon's beauty, cleverness, toughness, coolness, and cuteness, rather than just their battle prowess. The Super Contests in Sinnoh were more elaborate and engaging, featuring 3 distinct rounds: the visual competition, the dance competition, and the acting competition. The visual competition involved dressing up Pokémon with accessories to match a specific theme, adding a creative and personalized element. The dance competition required players to tap rhythms on the Nintendo DS's touchscreen, testing their coordination and timing. The acting competition involved using Pokemon moves strategically to impress the judges, adding a tactical layer. These varied challenges made super contests more dynamic and rewarding, appealing to a wider range of players. The integration of the Pokétch for scoring and various minigames further enhanced the experience. For many players, especially those who enjoyed the aesthetic and creative aspects of Pokémon, super contests offered a refreshing diversion from the main story and competitive battling. They provided a platform for Pokémon that might not excel in battle to shine in a different arena, fostering a sense of appreciation for all kinds of Pokémon. The super contests fostered a sense of community among players who enjoyed this aspect of the game, with many sharing their creations and strategies online. This alternative gameplay loop demonstrated Sinnoh's commitment to offering diverse experiences for its player base, catering to different interests and playstyles within the broader Pokémon universe. The introduction of the Global Trade System, or GTS, in Sinnoh was another monumental addition that revolutionized how players interacted and traded Pokémon. For the first time in the main series games, trainers could connect with others worldwide to trade Pokémon, breaking down geographical barriers that had previously limited trading to local connections or specific online events. The GTS allowed players to deposit a Pokémon they wished to trade and specify which Pokémon they wanted in return, or search for Pokémon that other players had offered. This system was incredibly innovative for its time, providing an unprecedented level of accessibility and convenience for completing the Pokédex and acquiring rare or version-exclusive Pokémon. The GTS was housed in the Global Trade Terminal in Jubilife City, a bustling hub that symbolized the game's embrace of global connectivity. This feature fostered a truly global community of Pokémon trainers, enabling players from different countries and cultures to interact and exchange their cherished Pokémon. While the GTS was not without its quirks, such as occasionally encountering absurd trade requests or hackmons, its overall impact was overwhelmingly positive. It democratized the trading experience, making it easier than ever for players to obtain Pokémon they might otherwise never encounter. This global trading system laid the groundwork for future online trading functionalities in subsequent Pokémon generations, evolving into more sophisticated and user-friendly platforms. The GTS in Sinnoh truly marked a pivotal moment in the franchise's history, transforming Pokémon trading from a localized activity into a truly worldwide phenomenon and significantly contributing to the game's longevity and replayability. Sinnoh also brought forth the concept of the underground, a vast subterranean world accessible from almost anywhere in the region. This unique feature offered a wealth of activities beyond the surface world, serving as a hub for treasure hunting, secret base customization, and even multiplayer interactions. Players could dig for fossils, valuable items, and spheres using the Nintendo DS's touchscreen, minigames that required careful strategy to avoid collapsing walls. These spheres could then be traded with various NPCs in the underground for goods like pedestals and decorations for their secret bases. The secret bases themselves were a returning feature, but in Sinnoh, they were integrated into the underground, allowing for more expansive and customizable hideaways. Players could furnish their bases with a wide array of decorations, turning them into personalized havens. The underground wasn't just for solo exploration, it also supported local wireless multiplayer, allowing players to connect with friends, to dig together, visit each other's secret bases, and even play capture-the-flag-style minigames. This multiplayer aspect added a social dimension to the underground, making it a lively and engaging space. The thrill of unearthing rare fossils, like the skull fossil and armor fossil, which could be revived into Cranidos and Shieldon, respectively, added another layer of excitement. The Underground provided a welcome break from the main storyline, offering a different kind of exploration and progression. It was a testament to Sinnoh's ambition to create a world that felt rich and layered, with hidden depths and endless possibilities for discovery. This expansive subregion significantly contributed to the overall playtime and enjoyment of the games, proving that Sinnoh was not just about its surface, but also about the hidden treasures beneath. The legendary Pokémon of Sinnoh are arguably some of the most iconic and narratively significant in the entire franchise. At the pinnacle of this pantheon stands Arceus, a mythical Pokémon revered as the creator of the Pokémon universe itself. While not directly catchable in Diamond and Pearl without event items, its presence and lore permeated the region, hinting at a deeper cosmic order. The creation trio, Dialga, the Master of Time, Palkia, the Master of Space, and Giratina, the Master of Antimatter and the Distortion World, are central to Sinnoh's mythology and the game's narratives. These three dragons embody fundamental aspects of reality, and their intertwined stories form the backbone of the region's lore. Dialga and Palkia's conflict at the Spear Pillar is a climactic moment in Diamond and Pearl, showcasing the sheer power of these cosmic entities. Giratina, residing in the enigmatic Distortion World introduced in Pokémon Platinum, offers a contrasting perspective on creation, representing a more chaotic and unpredictable force. Beyond the creation trio, Sinnoh introduced the Lake Guardians, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf. These three psychic Pokémon represent knowledge, emotion, and willpower respectively, and are deeply connected to the lakes across Sinnoh. Their serene yet powerful presence adds a mystical dimension to the region, and their involvement in the narrative underscores the importance of these abstract concepts in the Pokémon world. Capturing these elusive Pokémon often involved unique challenges, such as Mesprit's tendency to flee after the first encounter, requiring players to track it across the region. This added a layer of strategic pursuit to the legendary Pokémon hunt, making their eventual capture all the more satisfying. Furthermore, Sinnoh features other notable legendaries, like Heatran, a fiery volcanic Pokémon residing in Stark Mountain, and Regigigas, the colossal master of the legendary Titans. Heatran's presence ties in to the geological activity of the region, while Regigigas, found deep within Snow Point Temple, offers a puzzle-like encounter that rewards players for their persistence. Darkrai, the nightmare-inducing mythical Pokémon, and Shaman, the gratitude-filled mythical Pokémon, were also introduced, though typically through special event distributions. These mythical Pokémon, while not directly integrated into the main story in the same way as the creation trio, expanded the lore and offered unique challenges and rewards for dedicated players. The sheer number and narrative depth of Sinnoh's legendary and mythical Pokémon cemented its reputation as a region teeming with ancient power and cosmic significance, making the pursuit and understanding of these creatures a core part of the Sinnoh experience. The intricate relationships and epic scale of these legendary Pokémon stories elevated the plot of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, providing a sense of grandeur rarely seen before in the franchise. The music of Sinnoh is often lauded as one of the most memorable and atmospheric soundtracks in the entire Pokémon series. Junichi Masuda, Go Ichinos, and Hitomi Sato composed a score that perfectly captured the diverse landscapes and emotional moments of the region. From the bustling energy of Jubilife City to the serene calm of Lake Verity, each location had a distinct musical identity that enhanced the player's immersion. The battle themes, in particular, are iconic. The wild Pokémon battle theme is energetic and catchy, while the trainer battle theme escalates the tension and excitement of each encounter. The gym leader battle theme is a fan favorite, building anticipation with its powerful brass and driving rhythm. The Elite Four and Champion. Cynthia's themes are legendary, embodying the ultimate challenge and triumph of the game. Cynthia's battle theme, in particular, is widely regarded as one of the best in the series, perfectly encapsulating her formidable presence and the epic scale of the final confrontation. Beyond the battle music, the environmental themes are equally impressive. The ethereal and mysterious tones of the Spear Pillar theme evoke the cosmic power of Dialga and Palkia. The haunting melody of the Distortion World theme perfectly complements Giratina's chaotic realm. Even smaller details, like the melancholic tune of the Pokémon Center or the whimsical sounds of the Super Contests, contribute to the overall richness of the soundtrack. The use of different instruments and musical styles help to differentiate various areas and events, creating a dynamic and engaging auditory experience. The music wasn't just background noise, it was an integral part of the storytelling, enhancing the emotional impact of key moments and solidifying the player's connection to the Sinnoh region. Many fans still listen to the Sinnoh soundtrack years later, a testament to its enduring quality and the nostalgic feelings it evokes. The meticulous attention to detail in the musical composition is a significant reason why Sinnoh remains so beloved, with its distinct auditory landscape being just as iconic as its visual one. It is a soundtrack that truly stands the test of time, proving that great game music can elevate the entire experience to something truly unforgettable. Sinnoh also introduced a number of quality-of-life improvements and subtle mechanics that, while not as flashy as new Pokémon or regions, significantly enhanced the gameplay experience. One notable addition was the physical/special split for moves. Prior to Sinnoh, whether a move was physical or special was determined solely by its type. For example, all fire-type moves were special, all fighting-type moves were physical. With the physical/special split, this distinction became based on the individual move itself, indicated by an icon in the move's description. This change revolutionized competitive battling and team building, allowing for much greater strategic depth. For example, a Pokémon like Gyarados, with its high attack stat but water typing, which was previously special, could now effectively utilize physical water-type moves like Waterfall, greatly expanding its viability. This seemingly small alteration had profound implications for how players approached battling, allowing for more diverse movesets and making many Pokémon more viable in competitive play. It added a layer of complexity and nuance that seasoned players appreciated, rewarding careful consideration of a Pokémon's stats and its available moves. Another subtle but impactful change was the introduction of the move Defog, which not only cleared entry hazards like Stealth Rock and Spikes from the field, but also removed reflective screens like Light Screen and Reflect. While Defog wasn't heavily utilized in the main story, its introduction had a lasting impact on competitive play, becoming a crucial tool for hazard control. Similarly, the availability of TMs for moves like Stealth Rock and U-Turn, which would become staples in competitive Pokémon, originated in Sinnoh. These moves, along with the physical/special split, contributed to a more dynamic and strategic battle environment that continues to influence competitive Pokémon to this day. The game also refined the battle interface, making it clearer to see status conditions and stat changes during battle. While minor, these improvements contributed to a more user-friendly experience. Moreover, the Pokétch, while primarily a collection of mini applications, also served as a convenient way to track various in-game metrics, such as the time of day, the happiness of your Pokémon, or even a pedometer. These small, thoughtful additions showcased Game Freak's commitment to continuously improving the player experience, demonstrating that even seemingly minor tweaks could have a significant collective impact on the overall enjoyment and strategic depth of the games. The legacy of these quality-of-life changes and mechanical refinements continues to be felt in subsequent Pokémon titles, solidifying Sinnoh's role as a generation that not only introduced new content, but also fundamentally refined core gameplay systems. The post-game content in Sinnoh was exceptionally rich and expansive, offering players a wealth of activities to pursue after becoming the Pokémon champion. One of the most significant post-game areas was the Battle Frontier, exclusive to Pokémon Platinum. Building upon the success of the Hoenn Battle Frontier, Sinnoh's version offered 5 distinct battle facilities, each with its own unique rules and challenges. The Battle Tower, Battle Factory, Battle Arcade, Battle Castle, and Battle Hall provided endless hours of strategic battling, testing players' team-building skills and tactical prowess. Earning silver and gold prints from the Frontier Brains was a highly coveted achievement, signifying mastery of competitive battling. The Battle Frontier was a true test of a trainer's abilities, offering a replayable and challenging experience that extended the game's lifespan considerably. Beyond the Battle Frontier, players could explore the entire fight area, survival area, and resort area, collectively known as the Battle Zone. This new landmass, located northeast of Sinnoh, was accessible after defeating the Elite Four and contained numerous powerful trainers, new wild Pokémon, and additional lore. The Stark Mountain storyline, involving the legendary Heatran and the enigmatic character Buck, provided a compelling narrative quest that delved deeper into the region's volcanic origins. The search for the legendary Regigigas in Snow Point Temple, requiring players to bring the 3 golem Pokémon, Regirock, Regis, and Registeel, from other regions, offered a complex puzzle and a rewarding legendary encounter. The ability to catch legendary Pokémon like Cresselia on Full Moon Island and Giratina in the Distortion World in Platinum, or Turnback Cave in Diamond and Pearl, after the main story provided further legendary hunts. The legendary birds, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, could also be found roaming Sinnoh after obtaining the National Pokédex, adding another layer of challenge and excitement for completionists. The post-game also allowed for more extensive exploration of the underground, providing additional opportunities for treasure hunting and secret base customization. The sheer volume and variety of post-game content ensured that players had plenty to do long after the credits rolled, making Sinnoh one of the most replayable generations in the series. This commitment to robust post-game experiences further solidified Sinnoh's reputation as a generation that offered exceptional value and extended enjoyment to its player base. The depth of content available after becoming champion demonstrated a clear understanding of what players desired beyond the main narrative, providing a continuous challenge and numerous opportunities for discovery and mastery. The Sinnoh region also introduced a significant number of new Pokémon, bringing the total count to 493. These new additions weren't just filler. Many played crucial roles in the region's lore, competitive scene, and overall aesthetic. From the adorable and powerful starters, Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup, to the iconic legendaries, Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, Sinnoh's roster was diverse and memorable. We saw the introduction of powerful pseudo-legendaries, like Garchomp, a dragon/ground type that quickly became a fan favorite due to its incredible speed and attack stats. Its pre-evolutions, Geibel and Gabite, were also unique in their design and concept, residing in the Wayward Cave, a hidden gem within the Sinnoh landscape. Lucario, a fighting/steel type, became an instant icon, not only for its sleek design and powerful aura abilities, but also for its significant role in the movie Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, and its presence as a main character's partner in the anime. Its pre-evolution, Riolu, was also a rare and sought-after Pokémon, often found through a special event or as a gift. The Sinnoh region also featured a plethora of new evolutions for existing Pokémon from previous generations, a trend that was well received by fans. Thus, cross-generational evolutions breathed new life into Pokémon that might have been overlooked or felt incomplete. For example, Magneton gained the powerful evolution Magnezone, evolving when leveled up in a special magnetic field area like Mount Coronet. Tangela evolved into Tangrowth, a formidable grass type known for its immense bulk. Rhydon evolved into Rhyperior, a rock/ground type with incredible offensive and defensive capabilities, requiring the item protector to be held while trading. Electabuzz and Magmar, two electric and fire type Pokémon from Generation 1, finally received their highly anticipated evolutions, Electivire and Magmortar respectively, evolving via trade while holding the Electorizer and Magmarizer. Porygon 2 evolved into Porygon Z, a quirky and powerful normal type, requiring the dubious disc after the upgrade. Even the adorable Snorunt received a new, elegant evolution in Froslass, a ghost/ice type, evolving when a female Snorunt is exposed to a Dawnstone. These evolutions not only expanded the national Pokédex, but also provided strategic depth to team building, allowing players to utilize established favorites in new and exciting ways. The design philosophy behind these evolutions often involved taking core elements of the pre-evolution and enhancing them, making them feel like natural progressions rather than tacked-on additions. This approach resonated strongly with longtime fans who appreciated the recognition of older Pokémon. Beyond these evolutions, Sinnoh also introduced a number of unique Pokémon with fascinating concepts. Spiritomb, a ghost/dark type, was particularly memorable for its unique method of encounter, requiring players to talk to 32 NPCs in the underground before interacting with the Hallowed Tower. Its design, a collection of spirits bound to a keystone, was both eerie and captivating. Rotom, a ghost/electric type, introduced a novel mechanic with its different forms, each with a unique typing and ability, depending on the appliance it possessed. This allowed Rotom to adapt to various battle situations, making it a versatile and popular choice in competitive play. The fossil Pokémon, Cranidos and Shieldon, evolved into Rampardos and Bastiodon, showcasing two distinct evolutionary paths based on offense and defense, respectively. These ancient Pokémon further enriched the lore of Sinnoh, hinting at a prehistoric past. The introduction of the baby Pokémon, such as Budew, Chingling, Mime Jr., Happiny, Munchlax, Mantike, and Bonsly, also added to the charm of the region, often requiring specific conditions like incense to be held by the parent during breeding. These additions contributed to the feeling of a vibrant and diverse ecosystem within Sinnoh. The legendary Pokémon of Sinnoh are perhaps some of the most iconic and story-driven in the entire series. The creation trio, Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, represent time, space, and antimatter, respectively, and are central to the region's mythology. Their involvement in Team Galactic's nefarious plans forms the core narrative of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Dialga, the master of time, and Palkia, the master of space, were worshipped by the ancient people of Sinnoh, and their power was sought by Cyrus to create a new universe. Giratina, the rogue member of the trio, banished to the Distortion World for its violence, played a pivotal role in Platinum, introducing players to an entirely new dimension with unique physics. The Lake Guardians, Asuki, Mesprit, and Azelf, represent knowledge, emotion, and willpower, respectively. These psychic-type Pokémon are deeply connected to humanity and serve as protectors of Sinnoh's lakes. Their encounters are often tied to significant emotional or intellectual challenges within the game's narrative. Hatron, a unique fire/steel type, resides within Stark Mountain, embodying the volcanic nature of the area. Regigigas, the colossal normal type, is said to have pulled the continents into place and is awakened only after the player brings the 3 Regigolems to Snow Point Temple. Cresselia, the lunar Pokémon, brings good dreams and is found on Full Moon Island, often roaming the region after the initial encounter. Darkrai, the nightmare Pokémon, was often distributed through special events, adding to its mystique and desirability. Shaman, the gratitude Pokémon, also an event exclusive, had 2 forms, land form and sky form, which could be switched with the Grassidea flower. Arceus, the alpha Pokémon, considered the creator of the Pokémon universe, was the ultimate event exclusive legendary, whose lore ties into the very fabric of existence. The depth and interconnectedness of these legendary Pokémon and their lore significantly enriched the Sinnoh experience, making the region feel ancient, mysterious, and truly epic. The sheer number of legendaries and their detailed backstories contributed immensely to the world building, making Sinnoh feel like a place brimming with untold stories and powerful entities. Each legendary encounter felt like a significant event, often requiring specific conditions, puzzles, or narrative progression, elevating them beyond simple wild Pokémon encounters. The music of the Sinnoh region is another aspect that has garnered significant praise and is often cited as one of the best soundtracks in the entire Pokémon series. Junichi Masuda, the series director and composer, along with Go Ichinos and Hitomi Sato, crafted a soundtrack that perfectly captured the diverse environments and emotional beats of the region. The music for each town, route, and battle theme was meticulously composed, creating a memorable auditory experience that resonated deeply with players. Themes like the iconic Route 209, with its whimsical and slightly melancholic melody, or the grandeur of Mount Coronet, conveyed a sense of adventure and discovery. The battle themes were particularly impactful, with the trainer battle theme providing an energetic and competitive feel, while the gym leader battle theme escalated the intensity. The champion Cynthia battle theme is widely regarded as one of the most epic and challenging battle themes in the series, perfectly complementing the difficulty of the fight. The Dialga/Palkia battle theme, with its cosmic and powerful orchestration, truly encapsulated the gravity of the legendary encounters. Even smaller details, like the distinct sound of walking on different terrains or the unique cries of each Pokémon, contributed to the immersive audio design. The soundtrack was not merely background noise. It was an integral part of the storytelling, enhancing the emotional impact of key moments and solidifying the player's connection to the Sinnoh world. The use of different instruments and musical styles for various locations, such as the serene flute melodies in Eterna Forest or the industrial sounds of Kanalov City, demonstrated a remarkable attention to detail and a commitment to creating a cohesive and believable world. The music of Sinnoh is often revisited by fans through online playlists and cover versions, a testament to its enduring quality and emotional resonance. It's not just nostalgia that drives this appreciation, but the genuine artistry and craftsmanship that went into every note, making the Sinnoh soundtrack a benchmark for excellence in video game music. The way the music seamlessly transitioned from exploration to battle, and how it subtly shifted moods to reflect the narrative, was a masterclass in game audio design. The graphical improvements in Diamond and Pearl, while still adhering to the 2D sprite-based style for Pokémon and trainers, introduced 3D elements for environments and buildings. This hybrid approach allowed for more dynamic camera angles and a greater sense of depth, particularly in towns and cities. The transition from the flat, top-down perspective of previous generations to a more isometric, slightly angled view gave Sinnoh a more expansive and modern feel. Buildings had more intricate designs, and environmental details like trees, rocks, and water features were rendered with greater complexity. The underground, for instance, utilized 3D rendering to create a more immersive subterranean experience. While some critics initially found the blend of 2D sprites and 3D environments a bit jarring, it ultimately allowed the developers to push the boundaries of what was possible on the Nintendo DS without fully committing to a polygonal art style for characters, which was still in its early stages of development for handheld consoles. Platinum further refined these graphics, enhancing textures, adding more detailed animations, and improving overall visual fidelity. The distortion world in Platinum was a prime example of how these graphical advancements were utilized to create a truly unique and visually striking environment with its warped gravity and surreal landscapes. The visual presentation of Sinnoh contributed significantly to its distinct identity, making it feel like a fresh and evolved experience compared to its predecessors. The 3D elements, though subtle in some areas, added a layer of sophistication that hinted at the future direction of the series, foreshadowing the fully 3D worlds that would come in later generations. The developers carefully balanced the nostalgic charm of 2D sprites with the exciting possibilities of 3D, creating a visual style that was both familiar and innovative. This careful balance was a hallmark of Sinnoh's design philosophy, extending to many aspects of the game beyond just graphics. The Sinnoh region also marked a significant departure in terms of game design philosophy, particularly in its emphasis on player freedom and exploration. While there was a clear linear progression through the Gym Challenge and Team Galactic storyline, Sinnoh offered numerous detours and optional areas that encouraged players to venture off the beaten path. The expanse of routes, often with multiple levels and hidden paths, provided a sense of genuine discovery. The introduction of abilities like rock climb and defog, used to navigate the treacherous terrain of Mount Coronet or clear away dense fog, made exploration feel more interactive and rewarded careful planning. The sheer size of Mount Coronet itself, serving as a central hub connecting various parts of the region, was a marvel of level design, forcing players to traverse its peaks and caves multiple times throughout their journey. This iterative exploration of a central landmark reinforced the idea of a cohesive, interconnected world. The ability to revisit areas with new HMs and uncover previously inaccessible secrets added to the replayability and satisfaction of exploration. The game encouraged players to think geographically and remember the layout of the land, rather than simply following a linear arrow. This focus on environmental storytelling and intricate level design made Sinnoh feel like a truly lived-in world, full of secrets waiting to be unearthed. The inclusion of areas like the Wayward Cave, which housed the rare Geibel, or the Iron Island, where players could team up with Riley, provided engaging side quests that felt meaningful and contributed to the overall sense of adventure. These optional areas weren't just filler. They often offered unique Pokémon, valuable items, or compelling character interactions that enriched the player's journey. The design of Sinnoh's map itself, with its distinct biomes and geographical features, felt more organic and less like a series of disconnected routes. From the snowy peaks of Snow Point City to the volcanic landscapes of the survival area, each location had a strong identity and contributed to the region's diverse ecosystem. This thoughtful approach to world building and exploration was a key factor in Sinnoh's enduring appeal. The competitive Pokémon scene also saw significant evolution with the release of Diamond and Pearl. The physical/special split, one of the most impactful changes in the series' history, completely revolutionized battle mechanics. Prior to Sinnoh, a move's classification as physical or special was determined solely by its type. For example, all fire-type moves were special, all normal-type moves were physical. With the physical/special split, This classification became move specific, meaning a fire type move like Flare Blitz could be physical, while another like Flamethrower remained special. This change opened up a vast array of new strategic possibilities, making many Pokémon far more viable in competitive play. Pokémon with high attack stats, but previously limited physical move pools, like Arcanine, or those with high special attack, but previously limited special move pools, like Snorlax, suddenly had access to a much wider range of effective attacks. This allowed for greater diversity in team building and made battles far more dynamic and unpredictable. The introduction of new abilities like Levitate, making a Pokémon immune to ground-type moves, or Intimidate, lowering the opponent's attack stat, also added layers of complexity to battles, forcing players to consider ability matchups and strategic switches. New items, such as the Choice Scarf, boosting speed at the cost of being locked into one move, or the Life Orb, boosting attack power at the cost of HP, further diversified competitive strategies. The inclusion of Wi-Fi capabilities for online battling and trading through the Global Trade Station, GTS, democratized competitive play, allowing players from all over the world to easily connect and test their skills against each other. This accessibility fostered a thriving online community and propelled Pokémon into a new era of competitive gaming. The Battle Frontier in Platinum, as mentioned before, also served as a training ground for competitive players, offering a variety of rule sets and challenges that honed strategic thinking. The Sinnoh generation truly laid the groundwork for modern Pokémon competitive play, establishing many of the fundamental mechanics and strategies that are still relevant today. The depth of the battle system, combined with the accessibility of online play, created a rich and engaging competitive environment that captivated players for years. This emphasis on strategic depth and player interaction solidified Sinnoh's legacy as a pivotal generation for the series, one that understood and catered to the growing competitive aspirations of its fan base. Beyond competitive play, the online features introduced in Sinnoh were groundbreaking for the Pokémon series. The Global Trade System, GTS, was a revolutionary addition, allowing players to deposit a Pokémon they wished to trade and specify what Pokémon they wanted in return. This global marketplace for Pokémon made it easier than ever to complete the Pokédex, obtain rare Pokémon, and connect with players worldwide. It eliminated the need for local connections or complicated online forums for trading, streamlining the process significantly. The ability to search for specific Pokémon and offer your own for trade created a dynamic and active online community. While it had its quirks, like players asking for impossible trades, the GTS fundamentally changed how players interacted with the game and each other. The Union Room and Wi-Fi Club allowed for direct online battles and trades with friends, further enhancing the social aspect of Pokémon. The Pal Pad stored friend codes, making it easy to manage online contacts. These online features were not just novelties, they were integral to the Sinnoh experience, fostering a sense of global community and extending the game's lifespan far beyond its initial release. The ability to battle and trade with anyone, anywhere, transformed Pokémon from a primarily local multiplayer experience into a truly global phenomenon. This shift in connectivity was a major factor in the series' continued growth and popularity, demonstrating that the developers were keenly aware of evolving technological trends and how they could be integrated to enhance the player experience. The online infrastructure built for Diamond and Pearl set a precedent for future Pokémon titles, making online interaction a core component of the series moving forward. It also paved the way for larger, more complex online features in subsequent generations. but Sinnoh was undeniably the pioneer in bringing a robust online experience to the Pokemon world. The convenience and accessibility of these features were game changers, making it easier for players to achieve their goals, whether it was completing the Pokédex or testing their mettle against trainers from different regions and cultures. The story of Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum is often praised for its darker tone and more philosophical themes compared to previous generations. Team Galactic, led by the enigmatic Cyrus, harbored ambitions far grander and more sinister than previous villainous teams. Unlike Team Rocket's pursuit of power and money, or Team Aqua/Magma's misguided environmental goals, Cyrus sought to destroy the existing universe and recreate it anew, devoid of spirit and emotion, which he viewed as flaws. This nihilistic worldview provided a compelling and unsettling motivation for the antagonist, elevating the stakes beyond simple regional domination. The narrative delved into concepts of creation, destruction, time, space, and the very fabric of existence, largely through the legendaries Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. The player's journey through Mount Coronet to the Spear Pillar, culminating in confrontations with the legendary Pokemon and Cyrus, felt epic and truly world-altering. The involvement of Professor Rowan, an older and more serious professor, added a sense of gravitas to the story, as he continually pondered the mysteries of Pokemon evolution and the region's ancient legends. The rival, Barry, while still providing friendly competition, also had his own motivations and growth throughout the story, adding depth to his character. In Platinum, the story was further expanded and refined, particularly with the introduction of the Distortion World and Giratina's central role. The Distortion World, a realm where the laws of physics are distorted, provided a visually stunning and conceptually fascinating setting for the climax of the Team Galactic storyline. It added another layer of mystery and danger, making the narrative feel even more grand and impactful. The darker undertones, combined with complex themes and a truly formidable antagonist, made Sinnoh's story one of the most memorable and mature in the series. It challenged players to think about the consequences of unchecked ambition and the delicate balance of the universe, moving beyond simple good versus evil narratives. The emotional weight of the story, particularly in Platinum, resonated deeply with players, making the journey feel more significant and the victories more rewarding. The character designs in Sinnoh also contributed significantly to the region's identity. From the player characters Lucas and Dawn, with their distinct winter-ready outfits, to the diverse cast of gym leaders and Elite Four members, each character felt unique and memorable. Cynthia, the champion of Sinnoh, quickly became a fan favorite for her elegance, power, and intriguing backstory hinted at through her interest in ancient myths. Her team composition, featuring a diverse array of powerful Pokemon, including her iconic Garchomp, made her a formidable final challenge. The gym leaders, such as Rourke, the Rock-type specialist, and son of the Oreburgh City gym leader, Byron or Fantina, the Ghost-type gym leader with her theatrical flair, each had distinct personalities and battle strategies. The Elite Four members, like Aaron, the Bug-type expert, or Flint, the Fire-type master, also provided unique challenges and memorable encounters. The designs of the trainers and NPCs often reflected their location or profession, adding to the immersion. For example, the miners in Oreburgh City or the hikers traversing Mount Coronet had appropriate attire. The rival Barry, with his energetic and impatient personality, provided a consistent presence throughout the journey, often challenging the player to keep up. The human characters felt more developed and integrated into the world than in previous generations, contributing to a richer narrative experience. Their interactions often provided crucial lore, hints, or simply added flavor to the world, making Sinnoh feel more alive. The attention to detail in character design, from their visual appearance to their dialogue and motivations, underscored the overall commitment to creating a deeply immersive and engaging world. This investment in character development helped players connect with the Sinnoh region on a more personal level, making their journey feel like a shared adventure with a cast of memorable companions and adversaries. Sinnoh also introduced a number of quality of life improvements that, while seemingly minor, significantly enhanced the overall gameplay experience. The introduction of the running shoes, being automatically equipped from the start of the game, meant players didn't have to constantly hold down a button to move faster, making exploration more fluid. The addition of the Quick Link feature in the Pokémon Center allowed for faster and more convenient local trades and battles. The marking feature in the PC, allowing players to easily categorize and find specific Pokémon, was a godsend for breeders and competitive players alike. The improved item management system, with distinct pockets for different item categories, made inventory navigation much more efficient. The ability to use HMs directly from the Pokémon's summary screen, rather than having to open the bag every time, streamlined exploration and reduced menu clutter. While not as flashy as new Pokémon or battle mechanics, these quality of life improvements demonstrated a keen understanding of player frustrations from previous games and a commitment to refining the core gameplay loop. They made the overall experience smoother, more enjoyable, and less tedious, allowing players to focus more on the adventure and less on administrative tasks. These subtle but impactful changes contributed to Sinnoh's reputation as a highly polished and user-friendly generation. They reflected a maturing design philosophy within Game Freak, one that prioritized player convenience and accessibility without compromising on depth or challenge. The sum of these small improvements added up to a significantly more enjoyable and less frustrating experience, a testament to the developers' dedication to perfecting the Pokémon formula. These enhancements, though often overlooked in grander discussions of Sinnoh's legacy, were crucial in making the games feel modern and responsive, setting a new standard for future installments in the series. The Sinnoh region also had a significant cultural impact, further solidifying Pokémon's place as a global phenomenon. The anime series, Pokémon the Series Diamond and Pearl, introduced a new generation of fans to Ash's, Brock, and Dawn's adventures through Sinnoh, showcasing the region's unique Pokémon, characters, and storylines. The anime played a crucial role in popularizing Pokémon like Lucario, Garchomp, and Pachirisu, making them household names even outside of the games. Dawn, as a female protagonist, was particularly well received, and her focus on Pokémon contests provided an interesting alternative to Ash's Gym Challenge. The popularity of the games and anime also led to a surge in merchandise, from trading cards and toys to clothing and collectibles, further embedding Sinnoh into popular culture. The release of the Pokémon Ranger, Shadows of Almia, and Pokémon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Time and Darkness, spin-off games, both set in or heavily featuring Sinnoh-related elements, expanded the region's lore and provided diverse gameplay experiences. These spin-offs offered different perspectives on the Sinnoh world, allowing players to engage with its themes and Pokémon in new and exciting ways. The enduring appeal of Sinnoh is also evident in its continued presence in future Pokémon media, such as its representation in Pokémon Go and the highly anticipated remakes, Pokémon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which brought the region back to modern consoles with updated graphics and features. The cultural footprint of Sinnoh extends beyond its initial release, demonstrating its lasting influence on the Pokémon franchise and its dedicated fan base. Its themes of creation, time, and space coupled with its memorable cast of characters and Pokémon, have left an indelible mark on the hearts of millions. The nostalgia for Sinnoh is palpable, often cited by fans as one of the peak generations of the series, a testament to its expertly crafted world and engaging gameplay. The region's impact is not just about its sales figures, but about the emotional connection it forged with players, shaping their perception of what a Pokémon game could be and what it could represent. This deep cultural resonance is a hallmark of truly great video game experiences, and Sinnoh undeniably achieved it. But beyond the broader cultural impact, let's delve deeper into some of the more intricate design philosophies and hidden details that truly make Sinnoh stand out. One aspect often overlooked is the meticulous attention to detail in the regional geography and its connection to the in-game lore. The Sinnoh region, with its diverse biomes ranging from snow-capped mountains to lush forests and volcanic areas, wasn't just designed for aesthetic appeal. Each location subtly reinforces the overarching themes of creation and natural cycles. For instance, Mount Coronet, the massive mountain range running through the center of Sinnoh, isn't just a physical barrier. It's presented as the very spine of the region, where the legends of Dialga and Palkia are most potent. Its caverns and peaks are home to ancient ruins and hidden areas that whisper tales of Sinnoh's genesis. Even the placement of cities and towns feels deliberate. Oreburgh City, with its coal mine, represents the industrial aspect and the exploitation of natural resources, contrasting with Eterna City's ancient forest and historical ties to mythical Pokémon. This geographical storytelling adds layers of depth, making the world feel more tangible and lived in. The soundtrack of Sinnoh is another unsung hero, contributing significantly to the region's immersive quality and emotional resonance. Junichi Masuda, Go Ichinos, and Hitomi Sato crafted a score that is both iconic and deeply atmospheric. From the sweeping orchestral themes that accompany legendary encounters to the serene melodies of tranquil towns and the exhilarating battle music, each track is perfectly tailored to its environment and situation. The use of leitmotifs, recurring musical themes associated with specific characters or places, is particularly effective. Cynthia's battle theme, for example, is instantly recognizable and evokes her formidable presence. The lake themes, with their ethereal quality, hint at the mysterious powers residing within. These musical cues aren't just background noise. They actively enhance the player's emotional connection to the worlds and its inhabitants, making moments of discovery, challenge, and triumph all the more impactful. Many fans consider the Sinnoh soundtrack to be one of the best in the entire series, a testament to its enduring quality and ability to transport listeners back to the region. Furthermore, the game's difficulty curve and post-game content were carefully considered to provide a fulfilling experience for both casual players and dedicated trainers. While the main story offered a challenging yet accessible journey, the post-game opened up a wealth of new opportunities. The Battle Frontier in Platinum and the Battle Tower in Diamond and Pearl provided rigorous challenges for competitive players, testing their team-building skills and strategic prowess. The expansion of the Sinnoh Pokédex in Platinum, introducing new Pokémon and making previously unavailable ones accessible, further encouraged exploration and completion. The Stark Mountain storyline, involving Heatran and the volcanic landscape, offered a compelling narrative extension. These additional layers of content ensured that players had plenty to do even after becoming champion, significantly extending the game's replayability and value. This commitment to providing a rich, post-game experience solidified Sinnoh's reputation as a generation that truly respected its players' time and dedication. The introduction of the physical / Special Split for moves was a monumental game changer that completely redefined Pokemon battles, and Sinnoh was the first generation to implement it. Prior to this, a move-is classification as physical or special was determined solely by its type. For example, all fire-type moves were special, all fighting-type moves were physical. This often led to Pokemon with high attack stats being forced to use special moves of their type, or vice versa, making some Pokemon less viable than they otherwise could have been. The physical/special split changed this by basing the classification on the move itself, allowing for much greater strategic depth. Now, a fire-type Pokemon with a high attack stat could utilize a physical fire-type move like Flare Blitz, while a Pokemon with a high special attack could use a special fighting-type move like Aura Sphere. This single change revolutionized team building and competitive play, opening up a vast array of new strategies and making a wider variety of Pokemon competitively viable. It's a testament to Game Freak's willingness to evolve the core mechanics of the series, and its impact is still felt in every subsequent Pokemon game. Beyond the gameplay mechanics, Sinnoh also delved deeper into the philosophical underpinnings of the Pokemon world. The themes of creation, evolution, and the balance of nature were not just superficial plot points. They were interwoven into the very fabric of the region's lore and the motivations of its characters. Team Galactic, for instance, wasn't just another villainous team seeking world domination for power or money. Cyrus's nihilistic desire to destroy the current universe and recreate it without emotion was a surprisingly complex and dark motivation for a Pokemon game. His philosophical monologues and unwavering conviction added a layer of intellectual depth to the narrative, prompting players to consider the very nature of existence and the role of emotions. The legendary Pokemon themselves, Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, represented fundamental concepts of time, space, and antimatter, elevating them beyond mere powerful creatures to cosmic entities. This exploration of grander themes resonated with many players, making the Sinnoh story feel more mature and thought-provoking than previous generations. The regional Pokédex design in Sinnoh also showcased an evolution in how Pokémon were presented and integrated into the world. While earlier generations often focused on introducing new Pokémon with distinct designs, Sinnoh made a concerted effort to expand upon existing evolutionary lines, particularly those from earlier regions. This was achieved through the introduction of new evolutions for beloved Pokémon like Electabuzz, Electivire, Magmar, Magmortar, Rhydon, Rhyperior, Tangela, Tangrowth, and many others. This approach not only breathed new life into older Pokemon, but also created a stronger sense of continuity and interconnectedness across the generations. It allowed players to revisit familiar faces and discover new potential in Pokemon they had known for years. This strategy was well received, as it provided a satisfying blend of novelty and nostalgia. It demonstrated a thoughtful approach to expanding the Pokemon ecosystem, showing that the world was constantly evolving and that even seemingly complete evolutionary lines could hold surprises. Moreover, the connectivity features introduced or expanded upon in Sinnoh were groundbreaking for their time. The Global Trade System, GTS, revolutionized Pokemon trading, allowing players from all over the world to exchange Pokemon with each other wirelessly. This was a monumental step forward, breaking down geographical barriers and fostering a truly global community of trainers. The Union Room and the Wi-Fi Club also facilitated multiplayer battles and trades, making it easier than ever for friends to connect and compete. These online functionalities were not just conveniences, they fundamentally changed the way players interacted with the game and with each other. They laid the groundwork for the robust online features that are now a staple of modern Pokemon games, demonstrating Sinnoh's pioneering spirit in leveraging technological advancements to enhance the player experience. The ability to easily trade and battle with anyone, anywhere, significantly boosted the longevity and appeal of the games. The attention to detail extended to the smaller, often overlooked elements of the game world. For instance, the various NPCs scattered throughout Sinnoh often had unique dialogue that provided snippets of lore, humor, or useful tips, making the world feel more alive and populated. The hidden items found by using the dowsing machine encouraged thorough exploration and rewarded observant players. The underground, with its treasure hunting and secret bases, offered a compelling side activity that was distinct from the main adventure. Players could dig for fossils, spheres, and evolution stones, or create their own personalized secret bases, adding a layer of customization and resource management. These seemingly minor features collectively contributed to a rich and engaging experience, demonstrating that the developers poured passion into every corner of the Sinnoh region. It wasn't just about the main story. It was about the myriad of small discoveries and interactions that made the journey memorable. Even the environmental storytelling in Sinnoh was top-notch. The different weather conditions, from persistent snow in the northern routes to sandstorms in the desert area, affected battles and added a layer of realism to the world. The day/night cycle, which had been present in earlier games, felt more integrated into the Sinnoh experience, with certain Pokemon appearing only at specific times and events being tied to the time of day. The visual distinction between morning, day, evening, and night was more pronounced, enhancing the immersion. These environmental factors weren't just cosmetic, they influenced gameplay, encouraging players to explore at different times and adapt their strategies to prevailing conditions. This level of environmental detail contributed significantly to the feeling of a dynamic and living world, further drawing players into the Sinnoh adventure. In conclusion, the Sinnoh region stands as a monumental achievement in the Pokemon franchise, a generation that not only expanded upon its predecessors, but also innovated in ways that redefined the series. From its profound narrative themes of creation and existence to its groundbreaking gameplay mechanics, like the physical/special split and robust online features, Sinnoh left an indelible mark. The meticulously designed world, brought to life by an iconic soundtrack and a diverse cast of memorable characters and Pokemon, fostered an unparalleled sense of adventure and wonder. The enduring popularity, evident in its continued presence in new media and the anticipation for its remakes, speaks volumes about its lasting impact. Sinnoh wasn't just a place to catch Pokemon. It was a world that invited players to contemplate grand ideas, forge deep connections, and embark on a truly epic journey. Its legacy is not merely in its sales figures or critical acclaim, but in the profound emotional connection it fostered with millions of players worldwide, solidifying its place as one of the most beloved and influential generations in Pokemon history. But even with all this comprehensive exploration of Sinnoh, there are still countless smaller yet equally fascinating details and facts that often go unnoticed or are simply too niche to fit into a broader narrative. These are the hidden gems, the obscure tidbits that truly showcase the depth and meticulous design that went into creating this iconic region. Let's dive deeper into some of these less talked about elements, starting with some surprising connections and inspirations. Did you know that the inspiration for the Sinnoh region's landscape is heavily drawn from the Japanese island of Hokkaido? This is evident in the prevalence of snow-covered areas, the mountainous terrain, and even the existence of a major city in the northern part of the region, much like Sapporo in Hokkaido. This real-world influence gives Sinnoh a grounded, almost tangible feel, making its fantastical elements even more immersive. The volcanic areas, like Stark Mountain, mirror the volcanic activity present in Hokkaido, while the vast open plains and forests also have their real-world counterparts. This geographical grounding is a subtle but significant factor in Sinnoh's believability and charm. Speaking of inspirations, many of Sinnoh's legendary Pokémon are steeped in various mythologies and philosophical concepts. For instance, Arceus, the alpha Pokémon, is clearly inspired by creation myths from various cultures, particularly Shintoism, where deities are often associated with the creation of the world. Its ability to change type based on plates it holds is reminiscent of how different cultures attribute different aspects of creation to various gods. Dialga and Palkia, the masters of time and space respectively, draw heavily from concepts of cosmic order and the fundamental forces of the universe. Their design, too, incorporates elements that subtly hint at their powers: Dialga's diamond-like body and Palkia's pearl-like shoulders. Even Giratina, the renegade Pokémon, with its distorted, shadowy form and association with a parallel dimension, echoes concepts of the underworld or antithetical forces found in numerous mythologies. These deep mythological roots elevate the legendaries beyond mere powerful creatures, giving them a sense of ancient grandeur and significance within the Pokémon lore. Beyond the legendaries, even some of the more common Pokémon in Sinnoh have fascinating origins. Take Chatot, the music note Pokémon. Its design is a clear reference to a parrot, known for mimicking human speech, but its head is shaped like an eighth note, and its tail resembles a metronome. This clever fusion of real-world animal characteristics with musical elements makes Chatot a unique and memorable design. Its signature move, Chatter, which allowed players to record their own voice, was a groundbreaking feature at the time, further emphasizing its musical and mimetic nature. This level of detail in connecting a Pokémon's design, abilities, and even its sound to a cohesive theme is a hallmark of Sinnoh's Pokémon roster. Another often overlooked detail is the subtle environmental storytelling present throughout Sinnoh. For example, the abundance of specific Pokémon in certain areas often hints at the region's history or ecological balance. The presence of fossil Pokémon like Cranidos and Shieldon, found in the Oreburg mine, directly links to the rich geological history of the region. The proliferation of grass-type Pokémon in Eterna Forest and water types around the Great Marsh speaks to the diverse ecosystems Sinnoh supports. Even the ruins and ancient structures scattered across the region, like the Salatian ruins with their unknown inscriptions, tell a story of ancient civilizations and forgotten languages, inviting players to piece together the region's past. These environmental cues create a rich tapestry of lore that is often discovered through careful observation and exploration rather than explicit exposition. The Sinnoh Underground, a feature that allowed players to dig for treasures and fossils, was far more than just a minigame. It was a fully realized subterranean world that connected various parts of the surface, offering a unique social experience through local wireless communication. Players could dig up rare items, build secret bases, and even set up traps for other players. This added a layer of interactivity and replayability that was quite innovative for its time. The items found in the underground, from spheres used for trading to evolution stones, were often crucial for completing the Pokédex or strengthening one's team, making it an integral part of the gameplay loop rather than a mere diversion. The ability to customize your secret base with various decorations also provided an outlet for player creativity, further deepening the sense of personal investment in the Sinnoh world. Consider the intricate details in the gym leaders' teams and battle strategies. Each gym leader in Sinnoh felt distinct, not just in their personality, but also in their approach to battle. Rourke, the first gym leader, specialized in rock types, forcing players to consider type matchups early on. Gardenia's grass-type team in Eterna City emphasized status conditions and recovery. Fantina, the ghost-type gym leader, used her Pokemon's unique abilities to full effect, often leaving players bewildered by her evasive tactics. Volkner, the final gym leader with his powerful electric types, presented a significant challenge, requiring a well-rounded team and strategic thinking. These gym leaders weren't just obstacles, they were teachers, subtly guiding players to understand different battle mechanics and team compositions. Their varied strategies ensured that each gym battle felt fresh and engaging, preventing the game from becoming repetitive. The fact that their teams and strategies were often designed to counter common player approaches or to highlight specific type weaknesses showed a deep understanding of game balance and player psychology. Even the seemingly minor characters in Sinnoh often had surprising depth or interesting backstories. Look at Cynthia, the champion. Her deep knowledge of Sinnoh's myths and legends, her calm demeanor, and her incredibly powerful and diverse team made her one of the most memorable champions in the series. Her presence throughout the game, offering advice and insights, elevated her beyond just the final boss. She felt like a true mentor and a respected figure within the region. And what about Looker, the enigmatic detective from the International Police? His appearances, often at critical junctures, added a layer of mystery and intrigue, hinting at a larger world beyond Sinnoh. These characters, while not always central to the main plot, enriched the narrative and made the world feel more alive and interconnected. Their contributions, however small, helped to weave a more complex and engaging story for the player. The music of Sinnoh, often praised for its orchestral grandeur, also contains numerous subtle nods and leitmotifs that enhance the storytelling. For instance, themes associated with Team Galactic often incorporate a sense of unease and distortion, reflecting their sinister motives and their desire to reshape the world. The legendary Pokémon themes are majestic and awe-inspiring, perfectly capturing the power and ancient nature of these creatures. Even the town themes, while distinct, often share subtle melodic fragments, creating a sense of regional identity and cohesion. The way the music shifts dynamically during battles or transitions seamlessly between different areas further immerses the player in the experience. These musical details are not just background noise. They are an integral part of the emotional and narrative fabric of the game, subtly guiding the player's feelings and understanding of the unfolding events. Consider the sheer variety of side quests and optional areas available in Sinnoh. Beyond the main story, players could explore the battle frontier in Platinum, participate in Pokémon contests, breed Pokémon at the daycare, or delve into the mysteries of the old chateau. Each of these activities offered a different type of gameplay experience and contributed to the overall replayability of the game. The Battle Frontier, in particular, provided a significant post-game challenge, testing players' strategic prowess with a variety of battle facilities, each with its own unique rules and challenges. This extensive post-game content ensured that players had plenty to do even after becoming the champion, extending the lifespan of the game significantly. The inclusion of these varied activities catered to different player preferences, whether they enjoyed competitive battling, creative expression, or simply collecting and breeding Pokémon. The attention to detail even extended to the individual Pokémon animations and cry sounds. While not as sophisticated as modern 3D models, the sprite animations in Diamond and Pearl were incredibly expressive, conveying personality and movement in a way that felt more dynamic than previous generations. The Pokémon cries, too, were uniquely crafted, often incorporating elements of their design or real-world animal sounds, making them instantly recognizable and adding to their distinctiveness. These seemingly small details contribute significantly to the overall polish and charm of the game, making each Pokemon feel like a unique and living creature. The subtle movements, the way a Pokemon might twitch or shift its weight, all contributed to a sense of vitality that made the world feel more real. Even the environmental hazards and puzzles were meticulously designed. The cycling road with its different inclines and declines, the fog in certain areas that reduced accuracy, the slippery ice patches, these weren't just obstacles, but elements that required players to adapt their strategies or use specific HM moves. The puzzles in the various caves and gyms, from navigating dark caverns to solving intricate floor tile patterns, were challenging but fair, encouraging logical thinking and exploration. These environmental interactions made the world feel more dynamic and interactive, preventing exploration from becoming a monotonous trek. They transformed simple travel into an engaging part of the gameplay experience, constantly asking players to think about their surroundings. And finally, let's not forget the enduring legacy of Sinnoh's online features. The Global Trade System, GTS, revolutionized Pokemon trading, allowing players from all over the world to connect and exchange Pokemon. This was a monumental step forward for the franchise, fostering a global community and making it easier than ever to complete the Pokédex or acquire specific Pokemon. The ability to battle friends online or even random opponents further enhanced the competitive aspect of the game. These online functionalities were truly ahead of their time, laying the groundwork for the robust online features that are now a staple of the Pokemon series. The GTS, in particular, created a dynamic, player-driven economy for Pokemon, where rare finds and desirable traits could be exchanged across continents, fostering a sense of global connection that few other games at the time could match. This global connectivity was a game changer, fundamentally altering how players interacted with the game and each other. In essence, Sinnoh's enduring appeal lies not just in its grand narratives or iconic Pokemon, but in the countless layers of meticulous detail, thoughtful design choices, and subtle inspirations that collectively create a truly rich and immersive world. From its real-world geographical influences to its deep mythological roots, from its innovative gameplay mechanics to its memorable characters and captivating music, every element of Sinnoh was crafted with an unparalleled level of care and creativity. It's these hidden depths, these intricate connections, and these often overlooked nuances that truly cement Sinnoh's status as a masterpiece in the Pokemon franchise, a region that continues to reward exploration and discovery even years after its initial release. The legacy of Sinnoh is a testament to the power of thoughtful game design, where every small detail contributes to a larger, unforgettable experience. Thanks for watching. If these quiet details helped you relax, there's another video waiting on the left of your screen. You can let it play as you close your eyes. You might hear something soothing before you fall asleep again.